Alright. Let's get this thing started. The green screen is still not working properly, despite me spending the last 10 minutes messing with its settings, but that's just how things go around here. How's everyone doing? Hope y'all are excited. Got a lot of stuff to cover today. I'm going to try to get through as many things as possible. How is the audio balancing sounding right now? Am I too loud? Is the music too loud? Please let me know. Having a good day? I am. The semester is over. I don't know if I'd call it so much a good day, just that kind of post-stress shell shock sort of feeling. It's a decompression day. It's a decompression day. I think that's the best way to put it. So I suppose yes, it's a good day. It's a good day. Sounds pretty balanced. Excellent. Gonna wait for a couple more minutes to give people time to get here. Oh, I should check. Does this? Yeah, it worked! I think you guys can just see this, but I've been trying to get a few more emotes for like patrons and stuff. And this was the Carson's Duke the Link kind of deal. Have that as well. It's very fun. Get that? I really liked my semester. I still had the feeling. Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. Like, I really enjoyed my semester, but it's the semester on top of everything else that just gets so stressful. If I could do just the semester, that would be pretty great. That would be pretty great. Now, yes, that is now a tool at your disposal, Akonu. Use it well, use it wisely. Sup, Dylan? Sup, Carson? Glad to see everyone's here. And the emotes have graced us with their glorious presence. Still waiting on Camp to get me that gun emote that I asked for his profile picture, but we'll get it eventually. Oh, Camp's actually here! Yeah, no rush, Camp. No rush, Camp. Just pointing out that if there's ever a perfect time for someone to use it and they don't have access to it, that's going to be a heartbreaker. But seriously, don't fret. Don't fret. Okay, 3 minutes. Is there anybody here that wants to go first? Just to get, like, plans set up? So we can just dive straight into it? Because I do want to try to expedite this a little bit. I will admit, I am curious about that, Gabe. You have me intrigued. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I want to expedite things a bit here, because there's a lot of things here, and I want to be able to get through ideas a little quicker than we do in Peasant's Perspective. And I also want to stream XCOM later, because I've been having a lot of fun with that, and I want to continue. So the streaming schedule for today, I guess, is we're going to do a Roundtable for about 3 hours, take maybe like a 15-minute break or so, and then jump back in for XCOM. And I think that'll be good. Made some adjustments to my concept so it's no longer not too long. Hey, cool! Not that I dislike the longer concepts. It's just nice to be able to review something as a complete package. Things can get lost in translation when there's pages upon pages upon pages. Okie dokie. We're a minute off. I think that's good. Let's get this started properly. Yep, Roundtable and XCOM today. That is the plan. So welcome back, everyone, to Roundtable Relay, the Rebooting Smash Brothers episodic series. We're just continuing what we picked up last time. Just going over various viewers' ideas about how we should reboot Smash Brothers. What paths we should take, if we should reboot at all. That's kind of it. not much of an intro to this. We're literally just reading through ideas. It's a good, nice, chill time. And on that note, do we have any volunteers? Who wishes to kick off the episode today? I know Akonu's talking about their idea. I know that Gabe was mentioning it as well. Any of you want to go first? Akonu! Alright. Control F. Where are you? There you are. Super Smash Bros. 6. It's a reboot concept by Akonu. Use any music? I don't see this taking too long. Okay, I'll just keep it on the playlist we have. Alright. To start, I think that the three big questions of... Right! Oh my gosh. Like, can we just get GRC in every single one of these Roundtable Relays? For those that don't remember, I'm going to open this real quick. It was just a really lovely... like, actual game design presentation about the good and bad stuff to consider when asking these sorts of questions. I thought it was fantastic. I'm going to move my face over real quick. My green screen is cutting out a bit of that. There we go. That's fine. Okay. But back to Akonu's. I won't answer all three, but I'm going to answer question number 1. What can a Smash Brothers game lack while still being considered Super Smash Bros.? Stripped down to its absolute essentials, what aspects of the pre-boot must absolutely return in the reboot? In my opinion, I think Smash Bros. Is at its core, is a celebration of gaming with not only Nintendo characters, but also third-party characters. Smash being a celebration of gaming goes as far back as Melee's conception. It's confirmed that Sonic was supposed to be in Melee, but was cut due to time constraints, and Sonic is... well, I mean, he's Sonic. A celebration of gaming with third parties, I would say, is essential to a reboot roster. That's the identity of the series. In my opinion, you can't sacrifice the identity for any reason. First, it's just a huge financial risk, and a risk of alienating the audience. And second, a reboot that abandons the identity isn't even necessary. You can just make it a spin-off or a spiritual successor if you're determined to abandon the identity of whatever you're attempting to reboot. Just don't call it Smash Brothers. I can see that. Obviously, it's just my opinion, but I strongly believe that the next Smash game needs to keep that gaming celebration. However, English, we're off to a strong start. However, the way I go about accomplishing the gaming representation is very different from how Smash currently handles it. Okay, so in a strange way, I would consider my approach a reboot. Maybe a soft reboot is a more correct term. I don't know. As far as the name, I'm going to take a cue from franchises like the Modern King of Fighters, using Roman numerals because it looks cool. That is very fair. Roman numerals are indeed very cool. But what does need to change? I agree that it needs to be different. Try to top the largest crossover, it's kind of a lie in hindsight. It's Ultimate's identity that it is the ultimate Smash, and it should keep that. So where should we go? I think Ultimate was a game about quantity versus quantity over quality, alright? So the most sensible way to differentiate it is to flip the script and go quality over quantity. I'd say that makes sense. So what's the approach to the roster? So this is the main talking point. How do we apply this? I would abandon representing every era in a single Smash game. Okay. So the basic pitch here is that we're going to focus on a single era of gaming and be the best showcase of that era that it could possibly be. And to qualify what this era is, the Smash game is intended to be made today. The earliest point of this era is late 2021, since that's the general time when Ultimate left off. So we have roughly 3 years as the current era. Hello, Magic Ice. Thank you for stopping by. Another clarification. Era doesn't mean that Smash 6's roster will be exclusively characters that were introduced between late 2021 and today, but rather that characters will be chosen for the roster who are either still relevant or recently released games and series. For example, of still relevant characters, Animal Crossing's latest game might not have made the time window, but it was still very much the big thing. So an Animal Crossing rep is not only warranted, but needed. Oh, also, let me remember to share the document link in the chat. Gonna do that right now. Also, several other reasons why quality of a single era over quantity of eras is the best route to go for Smash. Roster of gamers focused on highlighting the era that Smash released, a lot more depth of representation of that era. Oh, just opens a bunch more new doors. Okay. Could be the perfect solution for all future rosters. We can't just keep growing, but if you just focus on trying to focus on a specific era, you have a very cut and dry approach to who you should be adding. Makes sense. Don't lose the celebration of all gaming, but moves to a more, like, evolutionary history game. I get where you're coming from. Would allow for each game's roster to feel incredibly distinct from each other. I can see that. You know, honestly, I do kind of miss older incarnations of other characters for the same reason. It kind of just leaves you in this weird spot where your favorite version of a character isn't a Smash game long since past. Would be nice if they tried to lean into more of that. Smash is also used to try to promote games. I'd say it's a big part of Smash's identity. Not a problem on its own, but it's hard to accomplish that when there are so many characters that their games are basically impossible to obtain. Yep, that's very much true. God, they really need to remake Tellius games. It's the best that Fire Emblem's ever been. It deserves to be loved at the level that it should have been when it first came out. I know this whole era of Smash game design will come off as a hot take to some. I know the audience I'm presenting to. But I would argue that this should happen. The characters from older games who got into Smash had their time in the spotlight. Same applies to old characters' movesets. If you want to play cut a character or an old moveset, these old Smash games still exist. This is also my belief. Like, as much as I understand the kind of traditionalist mindset that a lot of Smash fans have, like, those games still exist. You can still go back to them. You don't lose anything if the game changes. You just get more options to experience different things. Yeah, I like how Blastoise Master puts it. It's an argument to move Smash Brothers into more of a time capsule of whatever specific era it came out in. Which, you know, I do kind of like that. Only flaw I see in the philosophy is characters that didn't get their chance in the past and are too old for their inclusion today. Well, I mean, you say that, but this also means that it opens the potential to, later down on the line, go back and make Smash games about specific eras that are just out in the past. Like, make a 2000s to 2010 game for Smash Brothers. Might have to have multiple Smash Brothers teams working on things, but, like, it's still an option. So what is the roster? I think chat is blocking this a little bit. Let me move. Okay, so the ones being hidden are Ravenbeak, Shez, and Steve. So we got the main Mario Quartet, Donkey Kong, Link, Zelda, Ganondorf, Impa, Samus, Ravenbeak, Kirby Trio, Fox, Pikachu. Will say that for everything this presentation was, it is a bit odd to still see Fox and Captain Falcon there. But I think the rest of this makes sense. I like Shez. You definitely sold me on that and your Peasant's Perspective idea. And you cut Marth! Good for you! So with the base roster, 33 fighters, 25 veterans, and 8 newcomers. I'm sure this roster isn't perfect. I'd be curious to hear other thoughts on who could be on this roster. Off the top of my head, Advanced Wars. But apart from that, there's not much. Maybe the Ring Fit Girl? But still solid. Wish I could get more creative with Mario Cast, but the brothers, King Koopa are too iconic not to include them all. I capped 4 characters per franchise. I think this is wise. If you're going for a reboot, you gotta have... I think it's more important to have a broader list of characters to... I mean, sorry, of franchises to choose from. Just because it still keeps the vibe of a crossover. Can I move the chat over a little bit more without smushing it? No. Can I zoom out once and it's still legible? Yes, that is still legible. Okay, good. There is a case to me that the Donkey Kong franchise might not even deserve representation. Somewhere out there, Peter just had a seizure. But I like the general approach here. Like, okay, we're going for a more time capsule approach. Let's do Showtime for Peach. Let's do Wonder for Mario. Like, this is good. This is good. That's also very fair, Camp. Like, Fox and Falcon are definitely popular talking points, especially in the former. They are still more Smash Brothers characters than they are characters of their specific series. Main trio of Zelda characters makes sense. Ravenbeak, I respect, much as Ridley's cut hurts. All the Kirby characters. I would say that the Pokemon picks are a little odd. Like, in this time period, Mewtwo hasn't really done... well, actually, I can't even really say that myself. I've barely kept up with Gen 8 or Gen 9. But I'm pretty sure Mewtwo just hasn't been a factor at all in those games. Also can't suggest anybody better, though. Like, Pokemon's just kind of a non-factor. Mewtwo is the legendary, though. Yeah, but he's not really the legendary in the most recent... Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's not really been a factor. Like, I know they'll occasionally have events, but you'll have events for, like, so many different legendaries. I think for what this concept is going for, I picked something like Urshifu. That was kind of a big deal in Gen 8, right? I don't know. Fire Emblem chooses the correct characters for what this is. Blade picks the latest character. Pikmin picks the latest character. Street Fighter picks the latest character. I do actually really love the idea of Luke in Smash Brothers. That sounds really, really fun. These two are kept because the relevance to Smash is absurdly strong. Okay. Approach the DLC roster. Some more third-party characters. There is one strict rule I have applied to this DLC roster. An old character who was cut cannot return as DLC, at least for Smash 6. I think it's smarter if you intentionally don't bring back a character that... That's actually very wise. I think this is very smart for Smash Reboots, because if you start bringing back one character, you just open the floodgates for everyone begging for more old characters to be brought back, and you cannot satisfy those floodgates once they've burst open. So just stick with new people. I kind of like this. I think this is a smart choice. And then who are the DLC characters? Yeah! We stand shy in this household! Beautiful. I have no idea who this is. We got Guilty Gear, we got Hi-Fi Rush, we got Geno because of course, and we got The Tarnished. Oh, Octopath. Okay. Now, that's honestly a fair choice. Square's been trying to push that a lot. Guilty Gear works too. Chai is Chai, and I love him. Gina just had the Super Mario Brothers. And getting some sort of Souls representation works well. Picking Mai because she's one of the most popular characters in Guilty Gear. And honestly, small girl throwing around giant anchor and dolphins, it's a pretty unique moveset. We've got Fox Girl with Owl. Sure. Chai is Chai. Perfect. Gino is here. Oh, they're also bringing in Echo Fighters. Okay. Fun. So Galactonite, Daisy for Peach, Zack for Cloud, and Luke Battle Outfits. And we had a bunch of darker version characters. Only two possible characters to end this DLC, an Elden character or a Baldur's Gate 3 character. Baldur's Gate 3 doesn't really... Hot take I don't really agree with, but sure. I can see it, I can see it. Alright, so now we're actually getting into, like, actual reboot stuff. I have to praise the Bowser getting bigger for his level 1 super. Thank you. I was very proud of that idea. Cyberways to fill meter, landing an attack, ripping the projectile, parrying or countering an attack, arming through an attack, and taking a stock, getting hit or losing a stock, loses the meter. In order to actually use the super move, actually use another button on the controller. Shocking that Smash could do such a thing. I like it. Level 1 is a neutral super, level 2 is a down super, and level 3 is a side super. Still making it very accessible for casual players. I like this. While the Super Meter is a fantastic addition for character references and for power fantasies, it's a bit bland right now, but I think we can get a bit more out of it. Introducing Super Specials. Press Y and B at the same time, and a direction input based on the left stick. Okay! I like this. Similar to the command input for Terry's specials that he has in Ultimate. Like with Terry, some are simply more powerful versions of their base special, but some are completely unique. I'm very fond of any reboot idea that just tries to add more things for characters to do. I feel like it's one of the easiest ways just to make give Smash Brothers a nice, fresh breath of new content and new exciting ideas. Just find different ways to get a little bit more out of characters. And this is a great way to do that. I like this. Shield overhaul. Have a few gripes. The fact that shields shrink causes some jankier interactions, which is, you know what, just completely fair. It is kind of bullshit. You can kind of poke around a shield based on certain characters. It makes heavy characters' existence just worse. I also don't like how an opponent's shield gets broken. It leads to the player just charging their forward smash, and that just kills them. I think that's incredibly boring for a spectacle. Okay, because breaking an opponent's shield is basically a free stock that leads to shield health regeneration being insanely quick, which makes attempting to whittle down a shield through creative setup seem pointless. I like the points you're making here. 3 changes done to shields. Take a cue from Rivals 2 and how that game handles its shields. Does not shrink, it just cracks. When your shield is broken, you're not put into a stun state. You'll be under what I'm calling a concussed state. Okay, so it's just, like, XCOM disorientation. You're just slower and worse at everything. And it takes longer for your shield health to regenerate. Okay. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. Something else I would love to just kind of add on to this, because I love this idea. Imagine if you were also, you took a lot less knockback. Like, the shield break kind of just makes your characters more sluggish and heavier. Or maybe, like, you take knockback slower or something, just to make it so that characters can combo you a little easier. I think it'd be really, really neat just to have that kind of mechanic where, okay, you're concussed now. So now your opponent can just get in some insane combos if they're able to get around your defenses. Debuff states. Just throwing out some more debuffs that we can put in. You have Brittle. Shields will suffer more shield damage for the duration of the effect. Give this to a lot of heavyweights to make it easier for them to break shields. I like this. We have Suppress. Just make it so people are unable to use super moves or super specials. Give a lot of that to me. Ooh, that's fun. Ooh, I like this. I like this a lot. It makes some of the character choices make more sense. This is what I really want out of this kind of series, for people to take ideas of where they want Smash Brothers to go, and then pick characters based on that direction. It's why Kirim, I can't remember whose idea it was, that the Smash Brothers combination characters, and putting Kirim in there specifically to have that kind of combination with various characters. Like, stuff like that. I love stuff like this. We have Inhibit, reduces movement speed and increases the knockback they take when they get hit for the duration of the effect. Ablaze, similar to Poison, but differs in 3 different ways. Actually sets people on fire. Doesn't last as long for the damage over time. Yes! BC Smash Brothers Fusion, thank you. Third is that the affected characters hit again. Blaze will trigger... Oh, fun! It's a bit of Monster Hunter Blast going on. That's fun. For example, we're gonna use Samus just to kind of sell what we can do with these new effects. I like this. Charge Beam, neutral special. Near 1-for-1 from Dread as you're going to get in Smash. Radius for Arm Cannon, and begins charging up, which fully charging will take about 1/2 of a second. If it's pressed again, she'll fire a basic beam. Unlike Smash, she will always fire the same size beam regardless of how long she charges. But spamming the special will result in the actual rapid shot, kind of similar to Fox's neutral special, his current one. If she charges it all the way, she'll be able to move around freely while keeping the charge beam primed. Fun. Attacking it all will cause the charge to disappear. Once Samus does decide to unleash the fully charged beam by pressing the special, she has a brief window to fire in any direction. Very fun. Has translucent properties and inflicts more damage than your typical projectile. Still much weaker than her current charge. It works the way it's supposed to! Shocking! That a Smash Bros. Game could make Samus right. Side special. He no longer has the ability to choose between 2 types of missiles. But in exchange, new missile comes out much faster and is generally safer to use. You can also alter the flight path, similar to Link's Boomerang. Okay. Up special is Shine Spark. Fun. Incredibly high startup for recovery, but is backed up with a lot of kill power. Similar to Fox's, but death. Like it. Down special is the Morph Ball. Also like it. Level 1 Super is Gear Upgrade. Glows white briefly. Changes the ammunition of her other special moves. She can upgrade her gear multiple times. Samus' default special, which is covered by the Tier 1 ammo. And she can keep upgrading all the way to Tier 4. I like this! This is fun! This is a pretty simple way of putting in a lot of Samus' various weapons, while still making it relatively approachable to casual players. Because yeah, you just press the button and she gets better stuff. Goes from wide to diffusion to wave beam. We get super missile to ice missile to storm missile. And we get heat bomb to cross bomb to power bomb. And keep in mind, these are supers, so it's very difficult to actually get all the way to Tier 4. But if you manage to keep those upgrades going, if you're patient and carefully avoid your opponent, you can get some really powerful hits out there. I like this. Level 2 Super is the Omega Cannon, similar to her Final Smash, but much smaller and weaker. And Level 3 is the Hyper Beam, because of course it is. Why isn't it right now? Neutral Special. Neutral Super Special is the Speed Booster. I want this. This specifically on Samus and Smash Brothers. This would be such a fun ability for her to have. Side Special is Flash Shift. Oh, I got both of them. Just imagine Samus being able to do this stuff. Just the zippity doodahs around. Gotta be so good. Shadows of boost. Shine Spark and down super special is the melee counter. Lovely. Imagine these mechanics connecting with character-specific mechanics or supers interacting with super specials. Potential for character design is so much higher with these mechanics. I hope that these changes and additions to Samus's moveset prove to be a good example of that potential. No, yeah, you're selling me hard. This is a great way of getting a lot out of Samus while still making her a very approachable character. Basically just bakes in another set of special moves without I was convinced by Magic Ice's comment that like actual like directional inputs aren't the best fit for Super Smash Bros. Despite what I said in the initial video, just because that messes with platforming and that gets messy. But having this simple like okay, just press 2 buttons simultaneously is a really good way of circumventing that. I really like it. Introduction, this is my vision of a Smash Reboot, a quality over quantity philosophy taken to its extreme while still maintaining Smash's identity but in a very unique way. Regardless if you agree, I hope you were at least entertained by how cool these characters could be if Smash had the mechanics that were presented. I have a lot more I want to say, how other veteran designs could evolve through these mechanics, newcomer designs, character interactions, other minor details, but unfortunately I was pressed for time. Honestly, I think this was good. Keeping it condensed like this just makes it a lot more approachable and easier to talk about for the entire audience. Don't worry about it. I still really want to talk about these things because it sounds like it's so much fun, so I'll probably continue this topic in a future Peasant's Perspective. I look forward to seeing it. I hope that Duke and my fellow Roundtable Knights have a wonderful day. Thank you. Until next time, this is Akonu signing off, and I bid you all farewell. Lovely! Nice, short, simple, easy to remember. I think my only real point of contention, and this is more just a worry about, like, more the, like, business side of Smash Brothers. But my biggest worry with any sort of Smash reboot is if they try to keep like, third-party characters in the game, that could get in the way of actually changing up how you can change the game, because you have to run any sort of gameplay change by 1, 2, 3, 4 separate third-party companies being like, okay, can we make this for Cloud's Super Side Special? No? Okay, what about this version? Okay, what about this version? And that can just gunk up the works and make it a little harder to actually get those changes through, but that's not impossible either. I don't think it's a detriment to, like, Smash's potential future. It just makes me a little worried that a Smash reboot wouldn't be able to go as far as it possibly could. But still, I love the ideas on display here. I think this would be a fun way of kind of just setting the entirety of Smash's future up for success, because, like, if you just dedicate it to specific eras of gaming, you never run out of material to make a Smash Bros. Game with. Especially if you start going back and trying to tackle, like, various eras of history. Like, I would love to see an NES dedicated Smash Bros. Game. That'd be fascinating. Oh, no, I totally agree with you, Akonu. It's just that various video game companies can get very, very finicky about how their characters are treated. Brings in more cooks into the kitchen, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think Smash Brothers has enough of a pedigree that it could work. It's just an extra roadblock. But roadblocks can be overcome. Well done, Akonu. That was very fun. Let me move yours over to the covered submissions document. Alright, who's next? Actually, hold on. I think I saw Jamester ask earlier. Jamester volunteers. Okay, we're gonna go with Jamester. And they'll get GabeThePaper and Nick Plumeri after that. Okay. Oh gosh, this is a PowerPoint. Okay, how did... Oh, also, I should check if... Yes, there is the music. Let me get this set up. I like it. Okay. We're gonna be doing a little bit of weird stuff with the chat again, but that's just how we have to handle these PowerPoints. Let's go! Disclaimer, about me, premise, mechanics, modes, content. You were born in 1991. Kind of want to make a full video on this, but I don't have got time for that. I'm a fighting game fan for a good majority of my life. I don't bring this up as a flex, but rather as a perspective of what I understand and appreciate its design. I also show my potential blind spots. Alright. Got a lot of fighting games here. Premise. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate's premise was everyone is here, a celebration of everything that was ever Smash. My premise for future is simple. Super Smash Bros. Evolved. Yeah, it's just a sequel. Why an evolution and not a reboot? Hot take, I guess, but Smash does not need a reboot. Not only that, but I dare say that the people saying that it does don't understand why reboots tend to happen in the first place. So let's talk about a combination of 3 reasons why reboots tend to happen. 1. Franchise was dead. Franchise in question has been on hiatus, if not dead for at least 5 to 10 years. Good example was Doom 2016. Smash is about 5 years old, but even just this year we've seen minor updates for it. 2. Change of hands. When the original creator is no longer available to work on the project, new hands can often rebuild the project with fresh ideas. That's pretty much every Spider-Man film, the DC film universe, Mortal Kombat 9. And as of writing this, nothing indicates that will happen. Sakurai is still set on directing the franchise, and Namco Studio S is most likely going to prioritize bringing back the Smash 4 and Ultimate alumni. 3. The previous entry was shit. Easily the most common reasons reboots happen, the last entry was seen as either a critical or commercial failure. Halo Infinite was designed as a spiritual reboot because of the failure that was the Reclaimer saga. Soul Calibur 6 brought the franchise back to the era of the first game. I don't think you need to explain that Smash Ultimate was not a critical failure. If Smash had to have a reboot, 3D platformer, now does that look more like Tekken or Sparking Zero? I don't know. And even then, I would want 3D Smash Bros. To coexist with 2D Smash Bros. I actually do agree with this. I think having a kind of Metroid Prime to regular Metroid relationship would be very nice to see the Smash Bros. Franchise take going forward. Universal mechanics. Shield specials. Every character should have a special for the form of a shield special. I actually just completely agree with this. It's an easy way of adding more to the game without messing with the core formula too much. Just take the Inkling and do this with the rest of the roster. While I've seen some question if it could work in the air, my suggestion is to make the activation during the air dodge frames. Hell, transformations such as Pokemon Trainer already have invincibility. A third attack button. Give it some heavy normal similar to what Ryukin and Min Min have. It's tied to an individual character mechanics similar to Injustice or BlazBlue. Maybe characters like Kazuya and Bayonetta can use the heavy button for all their kicks, while light attack is used for punches. They still wouldn't be as strong as a smash attack. Speaking of, the light and heavy button are not pressed together to do one instead of the attack and special. Much like Terry in the Shotos, lighter normals can be cancelled into special attacks. You know what, fuck it, fighting games are in a dash to cancel phase, so we're giving the ability to do a cancel lighter attacks into a dash or jump. Would like an overhaul of the Final Smash mechanic to be overall weaker so that they can be put in regular gameplay. Terry's super specials are the point of reference, powerful techniques that deal massive damage but are also unsafe if whiffed or blocked. And they're now executed by pressing special and an attack button. You can maybe even give multiple super specials. Maybe you can still have Smash Ball. Final Smash has the big broken ultras, while super specials are part of a universal meter mechanic. Or maybe you can sacrifice your meter for a burst to get your opponents off of you. Wants to revive some older mechanics. Wave dashing, L canceling, Dacus, perfect shield, etc. And what's the point of all this? Keeping the overall skill floor low while attempting to raise the overall skill ceiling. freshening up characters by giving them more tools than they've ever had before without throwing their current fans under the bus. In other words, giving players and characters more options to allow for more creative expression and emergent gameplay. This is how fighting game sequels have generally been built and designed. Street Fighter 6's drive system is just a recontextualization of universal mechanics from previous games. And even in something like Street Fighter 6, characters like Ryu, Guile, and even DJ can be played almost exactly like they were in Street Fighter 2. The freshness comes from discovering and integrating the new tricks they've learned and building on what you already know. Modes. Classic. I think Sprawl has the best take in Classic mode, where the theme world is in a set order but the challenge varies. Ultimate had a great idea, but overall the execution is mixed. Totally agree with this. Some of Ultimate's classic modes are fantastic, and some of them are just utterly forgettable. Do you think you can fit in some sort of themed rifle battle into the midpoint and prior to the finale? Classic should just be what you expect. Okay. Campaign starts with creating a Nodon or a Mii. They are fully customizable with outfits. First attack button is chosen. Brawler, Solar Fighter, Gunner. Interesting. So making the, kind of blending the Miis together could be fun. It's a tutorial for Smash Brothers. Spirits return to be fought and collected here. Fighters can be found, recruited, and moves can be learned from them. So yeah, it's an adventure mode. It's a campaign. Slip Space. Spontaneous flavor that takes from the campaign. Players are tasked with completing a challenge in the universe. Some challenges are simple, character fights. Some are themed platform and adventuring challenges, and some are boss challenges. Each universe has at least one or all three. However, what challenge you face is a surprise. You only have to do about 5 of them before fighting the final boss of adventure mode with limited recoveries. This sounds fun. Kind of more specialized event matches that are kind of just intertwined with the other single-player content. That's fun. I like it. We've got some examples on display here. Being able to run through Bowser's Keep, smashing through enemies, and ending off with Giga or Fury Bowser. Or Metroid being an escape sequence, because of course, and then fighting Daft Kraid at the end of it. A lot of what you expect. It's fun. I like it. Example runs. You have Splatoon, into Mario, into Fire Emblem. Oh, so just kind of intertwining all those things together. Neat. I like that. Smash Versus just stays. Introduce a King of the Hill. Yes, please. Also making Strike 4-player. I'm shocked it isn't already. I'm sure that must be like a in-game limitation. But like still, please. Vault returns because it's fun. Give spirits descriptions, please. It's a huge, just outright loss of Smash's sort of history of video games that we just can't understand the history of the things we're seeing anymore. Stage builder, it should exist. Buildable, break the targets and board the platforms. Yes, please. Thank you. Just another, why isn't this a thing? That is such a no-brainer way of just allowing user content into Smash Brothers. Proper ranked mode with tournament rule sets for online Smash. I agree. One rank is based on overall skill and the other for individual characters. Content and roster. What do you mean by content? Shouldn't characters be counted as content? I take it as a fighting fighter returning. Should be seen as a package. A character should come with a stage suited to them, as well as 10 to 15 tracks of music related to the character. Game. I like this. Kind of treat every character like, okay, this isn't just a character. This character should have just stuff connected to them to make it feel like they're actually a full part of this game. Because there's a lot of characters that just don't have that. Like, I know everybody says it, but Bowser's Castle not being a thing, Bowser not having a home stage to challenge other characters, that's just stupid. So who made it? Every previously repped franchise gets to keep at least one character, but no more than 4. Focus is adding new phases, not only to existing franchises, but new ones as well, especially if they make sense in the post-Switch era. Everything's subject to change with new announcements. Final roster should be about 64 fighters, smaller than Ultimate's starting roster, but larger than Ultimate's final roster. This gets into the number thing that I've talked about previously. I don't see Smash Brothers being able to make any meaningful changes while still keeping a massive roster. Like, we've been able to see how Smash has been able to handle various roster sizes and how much they're able to change them moving from game to game. And I think what's been described so far is way out of a wheelhouse of 64 characters. That said, I do like focus on 64 specifically. That's fun. Core fighters: me, Mario, Donkey Kong, Link, Samus, Yoshi, Kirby, hey, who you would expect? The main characters that represent each individual franchise. Always get to return Smash Bros. Even if nay, especially if their franchise isn't active. Smash can be one of the few places where those universes get to continue to exist. Oh, that's true. You did say final roster, so maybe this isn't what it's starting with. We got the me as the basic, fully customizable character. I'm just going to kind of skip through these. Because I think there's going to be one for... Yeah, there's going to be one for everybody. So Mario, Donkey Kong, Link, Samus, Captain Falcon, Olimar, Little Mac... Actually, hold on. I want to see how... Alright, so how are characters evolving? How much are they changing? This is going to make a huge deal based on how much we're trying to change characters while still keeping the roster large. Heavy button, Olimar moves all his Pikmin normal so we can have a few more moves both with and without Pikmin. Neutral special is both the pluck and the whistle. Shield special is places Pikmin around. Super special is the end of day. This allows its down special to be a move that utilizes each Pikmin's individual traits, such as the purple Pikmin Pound. Meanwhile, the Pikmin Place allows for territory control, along with new Pikmin types in an attempt to create a more cerebral fighter. So we are changing characters quite a lot. Lil Mac, Shulk, Inkling, Min Min. New fighters! Grabbing Officer... Of course, James immediately jumps for Officer Howard. I respect it. We got Yuden from Dragalia Lost. We'll definitely say that it's a bit odd to add Dragalia Lost after the game is dead, but we'll go with it. Andy from Advance Wars definitely needs to be in. Foreman Spike. Alright. Nice little tie-in with the movie, honestly. Sukabon, yes. Purely for peer, respect it. Appreciate it. Ochi and Moss, like it. Noah and Mio. We covered a full video on these two in Peasant's Perspective. Good video. Octolane. Got Zelda and Ganondorf. Sheik as well. Here's no roster. One suggestion for a future Roundtable relay. Here's the... God. I would love to do this, but, like, there's 3 people in my audience that would participate. If only. If only. So I like a lot of the ideas on display here. I think adding in just an extra... Let's go back. Where is it? This in particular, like the third attack button, just giving the characters more things to do is a great way of revitalizing the franchise and making things feel fresh. However, I do have to disagree with the argument behind the reboot right here. Because, like, we have the 3 reasons, right? We have the franchise was dead, a change of hands, or the previous entry was shit. And I'm just gonna move this right here, kind of put it on the screen for a few seconds, and I don't know if I have to say anything else. Because that's not the only reason that reboots happen. Sometimes they just take a new direction because things have been growing stale. And it's hard to keep following up without just taking a hard left and seeing what else the franchise can do. And I think it is in that line of thinking that Smash Bros. Has the strongest argument for rebooting. No, yeah, I'm not saying that Skyward Sword was bad at all. That's why I'm using Breath of the Wild as a counter-argument. It's just that the Zelda formula was getting stale. They'd done the same, well, not the same thing, but they'd kind of done the same song and dance for so long that it was just time to see what else the series can do. And they succeeded wonderfully. Like, I'm not perfectly happy about where Breath of the Wild went, but I appreciate that it existed because it just let us see what else Nintendo can do with that franchise. And I'd like to see the same thing happen with Smash Brothers. And I do still think that the roster is just a bit too large for how much they're trying to change. Because you can't just slot in a heavy attack button into the existing gameplay without changing up a lot of what the existing movesets already are. Like, if Mario suddenly has much heavier aerials that he can use midair, you might have to change up how he can ladder combo people. Is it okay to have that anymore because he can now follow it up with a much stronger ending hit? That's just one of dozens and dozens and dozens of examples. But overall, I still like a lot of the ideas on display here. Like, there's a lot of things here, like the 4-player squad strike, that just should be in the game. Customizable, buildable, like, target tests and board the platforms should have been in the game ages ago. And I can't believe they haven't done that yet. Ugh. Whoa. That came out of nowhere. Overall, love a lot of what this idea is bringing forward. Oh, this thing as well. Like, actually considering characters as not just characters, that they actually need more to be brought with them for their inclusion to feel whole. It's low-key something that Smash Bros. Has kind of failed at doing, and I would love to see this really embraced, to be like, okay, let's just make sure that everybody has a home. Everyone has their own music tracks. I love the idea. I know it's right here. It always says that villain characters should come with their own boss music, but imagine that, like, every single character in the game gets their own, like, final boss thing, just in case they're the final boss of whatever classic run or adventure mode thing you're doing. Like, what does Final Boss Princess Peach sound like? That sounds really fun. I'd love to see that. But yeah, overall I like this. I think it's going in a lot of different directions, which might be pushing what's feasible for Smash Brothers a little too far. But again, still like it. When's next Peasant's Perspective? Sometime this month. We'll probably do the podcast next week. So maybe President's Perspective the week after that? Don't like hard hold me to that. I'm not quite sure. But there'll definitely be one this month. But alright. Thank you for the submission, Jamester. I like that immensely. How do I get out of a... There we go. Move this to the covered submissions. Alright, and then we said GabeThePaper would be next. Then we're going to do Nick after that, and it looks like Magic Ice is volunteering after the words. I need to, like, write these down. Hang on, 1 second. Let me just do that real quick. So, Gabe, Nick, Magic. Alright. Oh, and Dragon Slayer as well. Grab that. Alright, we continue. And then also la musique. Get this over here. Stop the Tekken, and we're starting with... Interesting! All Pac-Man music. You have my attention. That's a fascinating choice. Oh, actually, I'll actually remember right off the bat. Copy, paste. Let's go. Super Smash Brothers Wild Madness. This will be fun. Considered doing something like this before, now I have a great excuse to do it. Thank you for vindicating my problem with so many Smash reboots, and that they don't reboot the game, they just say who they'd cut so the ones left can be updated. But they hardly go into how they'd update the game, which I think is the most interesting part of all. Pac-Man has the funk? You know what, listening to this? I'm kind of feeling you. I'm kind of feeling you. A small roster doesn't guarantee quality over quantity, at least not on its own. We need to emphasize what we want in return for a reduced cast to ensure a worthy reboot. So, the theme! What is my theme? How will the reboot stand out? Philosophy? Bringing characters as if they pulled straight from the game. Works great for some, but others feel too tame. Feeling low on the spice. Can't branch out of their canon very much. Gets worse for older reps, and Sakurai took their inherent spice away, such as Donkey Kong, and morphed them into generic shells, only willing to gradually sprinkle bits of their personalities back in. Therefore, we're gonna make things spicy. Doing things like Gabe has done for Feral Corrin or the Primal Ice Climbers, which are both fantastic ideas, by the way. Like, if anybody hasn't read those, like, go do that, please. Primal Ice Climbers in particular, just fantastic. Like, okay, Smash Brothers gave them personality. What if we put them through that machine again, just to see where they end up? So the theme is madness. Are you ready to learn the way of acid? So here's the roster. I see Dark Matter. I approve. I see Chandelure. Ooh, that's a pick and a half. Going the poke. I kind of love that, actually. That's a fun choice. Bowser and Giga Bowser separately is also something I've never seen before. We got the Donkey, we got the K. Rool, we got Diddy and Dixie together as they should be. Ridley still here. Fellow Dark Matter fan, there's dozens of us. Another Shez. We cut Marth for Anna. You have my approval. Wait a minute. We got 2 Metal Gear characters, and neither of them are Snake. And Rayman's here. But this is a perfect roster. 10 out of 10. Got it? Cool. Doesn't matter. Because I'm going to instead go over how I change every veteran. This is only the starting roster. With the Power of Fighters passes, every veteran slowly but surely returns alongside even more newcomers. Sounds expensive? Don't worry. You can also earn them for free by grinding up Smash coins or completing achievements. I also do agree, Orkane is a very fun pick. Am I a masochist? Maybe. But it's not just the cast that gets the spice. We gotta get the game feel. Ultimate doesn't necessarily feel bad, but it doesn't feel great either. Ultimate tried to be an in-between of Smash 4 and Melee, however they did this by just bumping the stats up. Not getting why people like Melee. It's not just that Melee is fast, it's fluid. Ultimate is just not quite that. There's a couple reasons why. First, most fighting games have something called a buffer system. Basically, if you do an input shortly after an action before it ends, the character will automatically do it, ensuring accessibility. However, Ultimate's buffer system is too lenient, leading to misinputs and frustration. Removing the hold buffer, making the short hop macro... Oh my god, you're right! We have Palutena, but not Pit! I'm just gonna double check this roster real quick. Is there any other oddities like that? Captain Falcon, but no Fox. Ice Climbers, but no Fox. Is arguably the more surprising choice. Yeah, this is a wacky-ass roster. I like it. It's fun. It's spicy. Also, no Peach. We have Palutena, but not Peach. In the whole buffer, making the short hop macro optional, and adjusting the tab buffer slightly would improve gameplay. Additionally, moves should be determined by the input when buffering, not when the move comes out, addressing the issues with unintentional neutral errors. Peach too normal? Honestly, I kind of agree with that, though. Like, I had so many people bitching about, like, hey, how could you cut Peach? But, like, Peach is just kind of easy to cut. I'm sorry. Like, even with Showtime, it doesn't feel like she's got enough of a strong, like, moveset identity that just makes me feel like, okay, no, we gotta bring her back. Like, she should be in the game eventually. But have you considered she's so cool? Well, yeah, but, like, so are a lot of other characters. I'd take Palutena over Peach any day of the week. Palutena's cooler. Platforms. Canceling is canceling the lag of a move by selecting off the ledge. Also, hi, Pierre. How you doing? Hope your voice is feeling better. I add that back along with players and characters. Okay. Just bringing back a lot of fun things about previous games. I appreciate it. But with this star, she's gonna... Like, see, now you're talking movie Peach, though. If we bring in movie Peach, like, give her that halberd, that's a 10 out of 10 character right there. I'll take that Peach. Can't talk at all. I'm very miserable right now. I'm sorry. I hope you get better quickly. Input delay. Ultimate has a lot of it. That's bullshit. Input locking. Forces you to do the rest of the jab. I hate that. Instead, let you input moves freely. I like this too. I think this is just something Ultimate should go back on. Auto mashing. I hate mashing. I feel Ultimate in particular made me have to do it even more than last games. Increase both DI and hit stun, something closer to Rivals of Aether. Put in a bit more momentum transfer to be closer to melee. I do agree with this too. Momentum just feels good. More control options. The more control options, the better. Give options to have a short hop button, full hop button, light attack button, smash attack button. Just giving it more... A madness cancel button. Okay. That's fun. I'm looking forward to the rest of this. But this is also just a very good change the Ultimate probably should have. But the game's already pretty accessible, but you can go further. Mechanics. Bring back wave dashing. Bring in dash attack, cancel smash attacks. Dacus. Perfect pivots. Just fun to have. Like, all of this is basically just, okay, we want more options. Which, never really anything wrong with more options. I like it. Double jump cancels, counter hits. Auto aerial landing lag, hit following, air turnarounds, wall jumps, ledge hogging. Like, more than enough here to convince me that, yeah, this Smash Brothers game is going to feel different. And I think that's the biggest important thing you have to do when making a Smash Brothers to follow Ultimate. Like, the gameplay is what really matters. Because you can't compete with the roster, so that quality's gotta come from something else. I'm gonna skip over the rest of these, because we got a lot to cover, and I want to see what the actual cool stuff we're bringing in here is. Because I like all these changes, but I want to see... I want to see this. Also fun, though. Combo counters are always fun, and I like the idea of the announcer getting in there, too. But madness. This is the interesting stuff. What is madness? Characters have a madness meter by their name tag that fills by landing attacks, accelerating with counter hitting and combos. Also, this music, man. Gain a little by running, sliding towards opponents, encouraging endless move set. Using a third of the meter by tapping attacks with specials enables a madness cancel. Canceling moves end like in freefall, allowing opponents for a very short bit if it hits them. When inputting a madness cancel, you can also move omnidirectionally, and traction lowers during a bit after using one. something I call Madness Dashes. Wave dashes, but even more powerful. It's at full meter, holding attack plus special makes the sky go dark. And the announcer screams, "It's maddening!" as lightning from the sky strikes the character Attack on Titan style. This wait, what the fuck? As characters transform into what I call their maddening form. Maddening forms are over-the-top designs resembling a halfway point between Final Smashes, with body parts cycling colors of the rainbow like this. This triggers Turbo Mode, allowing move cancellation on hits to any other action with meter cost, and grants an omnidirectional float akin to Mewtwo in Project M. Oh my god, that Bowser. Just Bowser with a luscious mane of hair. I love it. And Captain Falcon gets actual flaming wings! Is this dark matter? Oh my gosh, oh, hold on a second. We got Toon Link, like I got with a full captain's hat, but it's got like the Minish Cap hat coming out of both sides. That's actually kind of amazing, though. Got Dementia Luigi, Piranha Plant Olimar. These are sick! Ghidorah Meta Ridley? Why does Diddy Kong just have a mustache? Oh my god, this is amazing. I love this. We got oh, this is why you had me pick characters. I see. I understand. God, I love Nine-Tailed Wolf. That's such a sick design. I want to see this. So, oh, but okay, but actually though, this is a really fun way of having more fun with the characters while still keeping like the traditional stuff for the traditionalist fans. Because like we still have like the basic movesets for characters to have that like super fun, like bring characters from their games in. But then there's a whole separate mechanic to be like, okay, but let's just have some fun for a bit. And you know what? I love this. This is so fun. In addition, the player can do a final smash if they press attack and special again, but this completely drains their madness meter. Like, this is almost like a best of both worlds kind of deal. Like, okay, we want to have fun with characters, but we want to make sure that people can still have, like, the stuff that they've loved in the games from the past. Just do both! Just do both! It's great! Rock theme plays, something, there's a gallon image. Oh, please say these change based on the character. And you can also customize this if you want. Current form of Rage is gone. Mass meter builds more from 90 attacks. So Rage is kind of based off of how high your meter is, which is just kind of just works better. Tweaks and add-ons, the game should think the game feel different without losing Smash Brothers' identity. Are people talking about making Smash Brothers into an arena fighter or something even more different? But that's more of a spin-off than a reboot. Which I wouldn't hate alongside Smash, but I want this concept to be Smash Brothers in the end. Now that the game has its funky flow, we can move on to the customization. I propose adding a costume. Yes! Please! I would love a Smash Brothers costume builder. Just like take the outfit stuff from Mario Odyssey and give every character that. Legal options, visual stuff, specific gameplay, and costume creator. You can freely choose the colors of each creation of the character like in Heroes of Aether. Your favorite Mega Man power-up isn't represented. It is now. My maddening mode would be a pajama-wearing Shogun. I kind of love that too. Not gonna lie. Can somebody draw that? That sounds amazing. Also add parts of costumes and builds how you wish, such as hats, wigs, glasses, masks, shirts, pants, shoes, and tails. There's options for all of that, along with being able to change the color of all of them. You can also change the color of their maddening electricity, the language they speak, and even their... Wait. Can you change the language they speak, but only when they enter maddening mode? Because I kind of just love the idea of, like, for example, Wolf becomes a mythological Japanese creature, but now he's just speaking in rapid-fire Spanish or something like that. Just add to the madness. That sounds so fun. For example, Mario has his fire, so he can change his fireball and side smash into purple electricity. Just alters, like, how they look. I like that. That's fun. Therefore, if ice climbers turn into green fire climbers, the freeze chance of moves would stay. Cool. We also have Wild. Just Wild. This is casual bullshit option. In the rules settings, you can decide between these two modes. If you made a costume with wild changes, they can still be picked in basic. It's just the changes that affect gameplay that we turned off. This actually changes the properties of the move. You want Clarity in Smash, just add electricity to Marth. And also the stats of characters like in Smash 4 without the need of gear. I do love the idea, like, this would be absolute madness. But just being able to kind of change what characters can do for kind of a... I wish I had a better example, but like how Overwatch had that sort of workshop behavior you can do. Just having that sort of thing in Smash Bros., that could be really cool. Oh yeah, Ganondorf has to speak in Spanish when he goes into madness mode. Visual design. Honestly, I think Smash Bros. Art style is kind of forgettable. I'd agree. Doesn't really stand out. Say what you want about Brawl, but you remember how overall gritty it looked? So what I do? Have you ever heard of Arc System Works? If not, they made Guilty Gear and Dragon Ball FighterZ. I love so much this in-between 2D and 3D they've made. It's gorgeous and not the first time Smash experimented with anime. This is beautiful, and I want to play it. So I made the characters cel-shaded, move in twos, and have outlines. Characters will also squash and stretch a bit more, and maybe go off-model between frames. So basically, if Banjo and Kazooie was every character. Furthermore, I'd make the camera more dynamic during throws, and I'd also increase hit pause a little so they feel heavier. Also, shield breaks would cause the special zoom in. Got a fun little simple UI like this. Just gonna breeze through the UI for a second. Stage selector like project name. I do like this kind of stage select a lot more than what we have right now. It just allows more screen space to show off the actual stage. Like, it's a small aesthetic, but it's nice. I like it. Also make the character select as hexes. Also like this a lot more than what we have right now. Hexes are just very aesthetically pleasing. Spot pause menus. Yeah, just a lot of UI stuff. Do like nighttime results screen. That's just nice. Personally, I think the sound design peaked in Brawl and revert the sound effects for the menu, results theme, and most characters to their Brawl versions. I don't know if I would say that's a universal thing, but I do think there's a crunch in Brawl that was lost for a lot of characters. Revert many victory themes. Also looking Killer Instinct and Multiverses. The music in this game is wild and dynamic. Upping in tempo as the game goes on. I like that. Characters. Now we're actually getting into actual character change stuff. I'm just going to breeze through this. Just enough to get the idea that, like, okay, we are changing up the characters a lot. I'm seeing hammers, I'm seeing spins, I'm seeing caveats. Final Smash is what it should have always been. Bit more references for all this good stuff. Voice, yeah, that's it. Now has a wall cling because monkey. Why doesn't Donkey Kong have a wall cling, actually? God, that'd be so fun on him, though! He's got so many spikes, just being able to latch onto the wall and just wait for your opponent to get into the proper position. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody suggest this before, but that fits so well! Probably because he doesn't really wall jump in his games. Yeah, but, like, it'd be cool, though. Plum doesn't slap his foes up repeatedly. Yeah, characters change. Actually, hold on. I take it back. We're definitely going to read one thing from every character. I want to see what their maddening modes are, which isn't there for Mario because it was earlier. Donkey Kong grows spiked barrels on his hands. Just gets Mafia fisticuffs, but with spiked barrels. That's so good, though. Yeah, the champion Link, focusing specifically on Breath of the Wild. I like the shield surf, that's fun. What's Link's maddening? Ah, it's not. It's because it was there before. It was one of the pictures. It was the Rainbow Keaton mask. Samus has her voice. Feel a little more like a character. Maddening is her Metroid suit. I like it. Honestly, feels a little too tame for what the rest of this has been. Oh, I guess when it's actually, like, flashing neon lights, be a bit more. Dark Samus. Just do what Phasal Ganon did. Phasal Ganon's Dark Samus is actually very excellent. I'd recommend people checking it out. Yoshi is rideable by allies! Yes! That's so unnecessary, but I love it so much. Alright, what's maddening Yoshi? Grows his wings. Okay. And with the rainbow stuff going on, it'd look like it's Ho-Oh's wings, which could actually be really, really cool. Kirby. It was a fusion of Hypernova and Void. Cool. Verge's SFX back to melee. Honestly, it's the best his SFX English has ever been. Pikachu. Becomes Primal Pikachu, but with Raichu's ears and tail. I kind of love that. That's fun. Got Luigi. We saw his maddening earlier. That was Dementia Luigi, which is so good. Ness becomes... Stupid. Captain Falcon poses like Slayer when he's knocked down. No, yeah, this is just a good time. I'd love to see a Smash reboot like this. I think we've seen other ideas that have more ambitious, exciting ways of it showing off more of what characters can do. But this just feels fun. I think if you just showed gameplay of the various things that this game's trying to go for, you'd be able to sell a lot of people really hard on this new vision of Super Smash Bros. Jigglypuff. I'm assuming maddening is just... Yeah, Screamtail. Makes sense. Gotta have a microphone too, though. Got Peach. No maddening here. I'm disappointed, but that's fine. Daisy becomes an actual character. I like it. Whoa. Okay. Just pulls out a bazillion items. Sure. I like it. Bowser, his maddening was the just beautiful locks of hair coming off of him. Ice Climbers. Already have a full thing on Primal Ice Climbers, which is phenomenal. Sheik still exists, to everyone's surprise. Zelda gets a rapier. That's fun. I like that. Dr. Mario. Huh. In the Mario manga, Dr. Mario is a future version of Mario that went back in time to cure Mario's depression. Huh. Cool. So he's a Time Lord now. That's kind of amazing, actually. Sure. Why not? Time Lord Dr. Mario. I never knew I wanted it. You're still here, Falco, Marth. Is this every character? How long is this? Oh my gosh, we're not even halfway through. All right, we're gonna pick up the pace a little bit, because this is comprehensive. We got everybody here. Falco, we got Marth, we got Lucina and Chrom. I'm just gonna skip through the characters and find any more maddenings. Comes full Demon King Ganondorf. I like it. Just look at the word count. I don't actually know how to do that on Google Docs. What is the word count? Just somebody tell me in chat. Noto exists. Roy also exists. It's a tracker install, sure. Game & Watch. Game & Watch's maddening mode should go 3D. It's just the exact same look for him, but he's just a 3D model now. Jesus. Alright, sure. Second pair of wings. You should give him 2 extra pairs of wings. Just make him a full-on biblical angel. Pit exists. Dark Pit also exists. Zero Suit Samus still exists. Wario is here and ready. Snake eventually comes back to join Raiden and Senator Armstrong. Ike, le Pokemon Trainer. Diddy and Dixie. Lucas, Sonic. What's Sonic's maddening? Ah, he doesn't have it there. That's fine. Comes King D. Oh, that's fun. Cario. Sorry. I just really want to see if there's any other fun maddening modes. Also, like, props for how in-depth this all is. Like, there's a lot of work going into this, and I respect the hell out of that. Just goes All Might, jacked up one arm. doing a very specific workout for that one, Little Mac. Control F and put in maddening. Yeah, but there's also, like, really fun random pictures around. I don't want to skip over them completely. We're almost there. We're almost there. We got Wonder Bowser Jr., because of course. Got Evil Ryu. Because when Ryu goes mad, he becomes evil. Sure. Ken becomes an evil Ken. Cloud has no maddening because he's already mad. Feral Corrin, because that's fun. Got super move Inkling. Ridley, we already saw Ghidorah Ridley. God, Mecha Ghidorah Ridley, that's so fun. That's just an inspired idea. Okay, real easy Bell. Piranha Plant. Joker. Hero. Banjo-Kazooie. We're almost there. Home stretch, everybody. Steve, Sephiroth, Pyra and Mithra. Kazuya and Sora. we get Heartless Sora with Mickey Mouse ears. Love it. And just curiosity of what the newcomers could be. Fake Bowser, Peppy, Senator Armstrong, Raiden, Soul Bad Guy, Orcane, Ultra Fish Bungeon 3000, love it. Dante, 2B, Chun-Li, Shantae, Shovel Knight, Candyman. What? Sure. Funky Kong, Waluigi, Crash, Rayman. Appreciate that. He fits the theme well. Sukapan, Louie, Bandana D, Cuphead, Eggman, Dark Matter, Skull Kid, Midna, Anna, Black Knight, Meowth, Sans, Conquer, Paper Mark. Jesus, this is a lot. So very much, this is kind of approaching with the mindset of, okay, this is going to be some sort of constantly updated Smash Brothers that's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger over time. Which was my original idea. I've had people pointed out that I would eventually get old too, which honestly I kind of agree with, but for a concept like this, I just love to see how each of these characters are translated into this kind of game. It'd be so neat. Monster Hunter, Zero, Akira, Alucard, Washer, Banjo, specifically the washing machine. Ches, Vivi, Black Shadow, and the Sandbag. That is 141 characters in total. Oh, it's only like 20 years of fighter passes. Let's not focus on how this abomination would bane now of all bank accounts. Let's focus on the interactions. There's one more thing. Alright, this is actually very important because like the game just needs more of this kind of stuff. Give people custom artwork. Love that. That's fantastic. Second one is some characters talk to each other during entrances and victory animations. Like, we do have that a little bit, but just have more of that. Definitely agree. Oh god, are there... We also got custom interactions for every single character. This is so much work. Well done, Gabe. I'm not going to read all of these because we got a lot to get to. But I love that you did this. I'm just kind of trying to skim if there's any especially hilarious ones. Nope, I don't see the resemblance for Sans to Ness. Great. Gotta love it. We got stages. Wait, what was this? 2 types of stages, basic and wild. Wild is the casual bullshit, just has random wackiness. I like the desk. That's just an adorable stage idea. Love that. Bowser's Castle is here because of course it should be. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of breeze past these. You have sold me on your vision, Gabe. Classic All-Star Boss Rush. Got all the good stuff from all the past games. Any new specific... Maddening Rampage. You are locked into your maddening form for the entire thing, and your goal is to defeat as many enemies as you can in a set amount of time. This is amazing, and I kind of wish that previous Smash games that had Transformation Smashes did something like this. Like, just imagine in Brawl, just being able Just being like, oh, okay, you're Giga Bowser now. How many things can you destroy? And just go on a rampage. That sounds fun. I love it. And with that, Wild Madness is complete. And it only 349 Jesus! Thank you for reading the concept, or at least as much as you possibly could. If you have any ideas to improve it, I'd love to hear them. If you have any ideas for more custom interactions, feel free to type them here. Fun! That was so much. Can we actually get to the... I need to scroll up to the point I can actually grab the scroll meter. There we go. Get actually up to the main meat of the ideas. There's a lot here that I just absolutely adore. I think when you take the whole scope of it, it kind of feels a little unrealistic because that requires this to last for 20 years. But for this just like initial pitch, I adore this. Like, it's so far into left field, but it still like keeps like the core of what Smash Brothers is, while simultaneously bringing in so much wacky fun. God, it's just... I really love a lot of what this is suggesting. Like, just simple things like Minish Cap Toon Link with the captain's hats, Piranha Plant Olamar's freaking Ghidorah Meta Ridley. That's so fun. Even if it's just a one-and-done Smash Brothers game, I'd love to see something like this. You put in the link in my one. It's there, but you have to put in the URL bar manually. Hang on. Yeah, just go ahead and do that on your own. I'll approve it, Gavin. Don't fret, don't fret. But yeah, I like this a lot. Breathes a lot of fresh air into the... I did completely forget the link too. You are right. I'll toss that out as well. Thank you, Luca. Yeah, again, I think saying that, like, all 300 pages of this is feasible, that's just a lot. But I love the art style change. I adore the thematics of just the maddening as a way of just breathing more fresh air into this. Like, overall, I want to play this game. I really want to play this game. Okay, let's move this over into the covered submissions. How are we doing on time? Only been doing this for an hour and a half. Don't go for feasible, I go for madness. And madness you did achieve. Alright, next up. Based off my list, we got Nick. Uh-oh. Where are you? Plumeri. Maybe it's under Plumeri. There we go. Alright. Let's grab Wii Party Music. Okay. Much more relaxed vibe. And we got another PowerPoint. So I apologize, but I'm going to be moving the chat all around a lot. Personal take on Super Smash Brothers, with absolutely no accompanying graphics whatsoever. Hello, thank you for your interest. This is my concept for the next Super Smash Brothers. Didn't cover absolutely everything about each fighter. The game sort of built off of Ultimate. Something is unchanged. I think the move fighter is fine as it is. Yeah, about newcomers, just things I wanted to see. Bias and conversation. I keep somewhat argument across the board. I used to hear some hot takes or boring takes, so I had a lot of fun with this whole thing. Okay. More or less indifferent. Have the roster feel less bloated by cutting the roster. That's an amazing gif. Separate Echo Fighters by working or cutting them. General improvements of modes, new costumes, replacing other costumes. The current aesthetic of Smash Brothers is a great service to the characters, inclusion of different art styles and series. What to expect? I'm enjoying the shit posts. Change the roster and stage selection. Ideally, each fighter will get one stage. So again, revisiting like, okay, every character should kind of have their own spot to call home in this game. Tons of new change moves for each fighter, including new shield attacks, a get off me tool, multiple final smashes. But viability is not really a concern to me. Slides versus... Honestly, like, I feel like it shouldn't be... Like, it should still be on the priority list, but it should not be high on the priority list. Huge reason that this series is so popular is that it's perfectly accessible as a party game. This soundtrack is just a vibe. I'm loving this. Got details, fighters, items, fighters. Okay. Having individual tutorials for each fighter. I actually love this. Like, ideal Smash Brothers tutorial for me is to kind of handle it like how Street Fighter 6 handles their like character tutorials, but have them narrated in a way that Final Fantasy Dissidia gives out tips and tutorials. Like, for example, for Mario's, just have Toad have that little speech bubble and just explain how you play as Mario, or like the Sailor Waddle Dee for Meta Knight. This is a way to get like a lot of characters' presences felt in the game, and it'd be adorable. Everyone gets a shield attack, more control over stage selection. Lets you choose which version of a stage you want. I like this. Unpopular opinion alert. Oh, but you're gonna... Random trip... You know what? That is indeed English. That is indeed an unpopular opinion. Teching is always possible. Okay. Can you tech the trips? Because you know... Oh, you know what? That might actually make tripping, like, fun in a competitive setting. Make it so you can, like, do a special kind of tech off the trip that acts as a really impressive, like, really far-reaching wave dash or something like that. Just make it kind of a skill check, sort of, if you can react to this, you get a benefit. That might unironically be a great way to implement tripping into the game. I kind of want to see something like that implemented. Freezes you in the animation. Honestly, just fun. I like this. Trembles icy flows don't affect fighters who float. Huh. I never thought about that, but does ice physics affect Bowser Jr.? Huh. Didn't know that. Everyone gets a fourth taunt. We get a female announcer option. Alright. Rematch option in the menu select screen. All players must set the rematch. Bring back the... Yes! The true... Reboot's required mechanics. Forget gameplay options. Forget, like, newcomers. We need the menu tilting back. 100% agree with this. Bring back Master and Crazy. Interesting. No mention of other modes, but specifically Master and Crazy orders. Alright. Dodgeable final smashes. More expressive characters. Want the camera to go crazy. More dynamically changing music and stages on the final stock. Definitely agree with this. Like, this is just fun to have. When it feels like every element of the game is getting more hyped up for the eventual victory. It's just a good time. Smash Run should come back. Based. More alterations on the map. Where needs to fight. New mode, zones. Take the zone to win. Basically, Splatoon's... So King of the Hill rules. Oh, hang on. Deal with point penalty if the man takes the zone from you by standing in the zone while you're out of it, or standard King of the Hill rules. Okay, so multiple ways you can just even make it like a Battlefront sort of style for it for team games. Like have multiple zones and you're trying to take control of all of them. New mode, Tag. The fastest player in the match starts as it. Tag your opponent by running into them and hitting them with an attack. The person who's tagged has a personal time. That's fun! If you're tagged for as long as your timer runs out, you explode and lose a stock. Like, obviously some characters would struggle in this. But still, that's fun! Cards. My idea of this... Oh! Okay. You know what? This is just a superior sticker. Sorry. Superior sprite. That's what they're called in Ultimate. Like, it's basically the same thing, but you actually get a bit of that information that we were asking for a few concepts ago. I like this. This is just a solid change. Get a boss rush mode. Okay, who we add in here? DJ Octavio, Bullboard, Max Brass plus Headlock, Hades, Dragox, Dr. Eggman, Dr. Wily, and Andros. Safe picks. I'd argue all of them should be boss characters in the game at some point. Removed. I don't know why. That really got to me. It just felt so spiteful. Just going through all these mechanics and like, oh yeah, we'll add this, all this. Here's something cool we could do. Here's something else we could do. Remove Dr. Mario. Alright, so we're actually getting into, like, character-specific stuff. Like the other ones, I'm just gonna breeze through this. Just give them new stuff. Got your Luigis, we got your Peaches, we got Toad. Might be the quintessential, like, he should be here, but everyone's got him at, like, in the 20s or 30s in terms of, like, priority lists of who they want added to the game. I'd like to have him. Hello, Paulo Jr. Welcome to the stream. Rosalina, Bowser. Yeah, we're just going through all the characters. Make our way through. Got another base to Diddy Dixie. 2-in-1, as it should be. Link rework. More Link. More Ganon. Toon Link with better sound. Yes, please. Loki, one of my biggest problems with Toon Link. He should just sound better. Kirby Overhaul, Meta Knight, Bandana Waddle Dee, because she should. Sam. Dark Samus, Ridley. The Yosh, Wario, Inkling, Agent 8, Tom Nook and Isabelle. Ooh, don't know if I agree with that one. Isabelle is an alternate costume of Tom Nook. Definitely feel like these two should be separate characters. You can do so much with these two. Olimar and Friends, picking the changes, Pikachu. We got Eevee. We got Ditto. You two, Mark. Corrin, hear me out? No. Pit Ring Fit Trainee, Little Mac, Shulk, Ness, Wii Fit Trainer again, Ice Climbers, Fox and Wolf, Takamaru. Hey, that's fun. Rob, Pac, Man. That was actually pretty good. Simon, Richter, and more. Bayonetta, Mii editions. Sure. A blank slide. That's weird. 2 blank slides. Okay, I'm actually curious about this. I don't think anybody's tried to go for like items yet Invisible Box, Ultra Spray from Pikmin, Cloud Flower, generates a cloud. That's fun! Ooh! I actually really like this. Having an item that just gives you a platform, lets you chase after people. That's pretty good. I like that. Something that specifically increases your shield size and depending on how big this gets, that could be hilarious. I'm picturing like 3 times the size of your character model. So you're just able to mess with your opponent's ability to... Like, I'm picturing Jigglypuff's Final Smash. Just kind of pushing people off the edge by shielding. Got Ice Flowers, we got Rush Juice. Specifically removing the Smoke Ball because... Again, the random bits of spite. Sistrophies. King Babam, Emmy, Magnus, Mama. Salmonids, Nabbit, Boo. The Robot Armor. Les Joe, Shantae, Chibi Robo. Cut characters. And okay, here we go. Definitely, like, again, I know I'm a broken record for having to say this, but... How much is this? 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So a 60 character roster, it's too big. I think it's a decent roster. I like some of the changes that were presented, but I don't think those changes can be implemented to the extent you want them to while still keeping the giant roster. Unfortunately, going to be my feedback for a lot of these. There's so much Cena. There's just so much. Do love this, though. Like, tie stages to spit... That's a choice and a half. Okay. This might be the first time I've ever seen someone suggest, like, okay, character-specific stages, but not Bowser's Castle. Honestly, I kind of respect the gumption to do that. Bring you back as well. Why are all 3 Xenoblade characters a common thing in reboots? Because people like completing trios. Despite the fact that Xenoblade isn't nearly big enough to justify that. But like, oh, we can't... I get decision paralysis. I'll just throw all 3 into the mix. It's fine. Donkey Kong. Also Yoshi and Wario are here. Zelda... Okay, but also no Ganondorf stage. What the heck? Just newsflash, there's stages. We're gonna skip through these. Definitely agree on the necessity of this, though. The fact that Rhythm Heaven doesn't even have a stage in Smash Brothers, that's just not cool. It should be there. Waluigi is DLC, but he comes with Han and Bao as a stage. Sure. Final thoughts. If I had a lot more room on the roster, I would have added a couple more third parties or a few non-Nintendo series such as Style Savvy, Snipper Clips, Rhythm Heaven, Swap Note, Joy Mech Fight, Golden Sun, and so on. Or more villains, because villains are fun. Some things are still unfinished as of 5/24, but I hope you enjoyed the ideas from my slides. Thank you, everyone, and Duke, cheers to the next Smash game, whatever it may be. Alright, obviously a lot of jokes, but I did enjoy a lot. There's a lot of random stuff here that I just really appreciated the ideas behind it. Like, I love the building music. Menu tilting. Like, honestly, I haven't thought about that in years, but I miss that. Like, it's such a silly, unnecessary thing, but I miss that. Also, I just heard a Discord notification. Let me put this onto Do Not Disturb because I forgot to do that. Sorry about that. That notification was not you. Also love the modes. The tack thing, card thing, like this is just better spirits. Like it just is. But I quit Discord. I quit Discord servers. I still like talk to friends on Discord. I still have peoples. I just can't handle communities I can lurk in because it eats up so much of my free time. This random spiteful stuff. Again, roster's too big. You can't change the game up while keeping that big of a roster. But there's a lot of ideas here that I think were very fun. And I would like to see them implemented. Thank you for your participation, Plumeri. Let's move you over to the covered submissions. I also see the caps lock Darians. I'll toss you onto the list. Ones we're going to cover. But first, after Plumeri was Magic Ice. So we're going to grab that real quick. Recenter the chat thing where it's supposed to go. Alright. Grab the song. Got some chill Xenoblade today. Alright, alright. Smash is too big to be different, so let's do something else. This will start off sounding pessimistic and pragmatic, but trust me, it is for the pitch's purpose. Smash is one of Nintendo's biggest series, and while it makes a lot of money, it also takes a lot of money to make. Not only the licensing fees of characters Nintendo doesn't fully own, but so many designers, coders, and animators have to create so much content. And with each game getting larger and larger, people expect more from each game. People want Subspace 2 with voice acting and a longer story, more characters, and old characters to be changed, and the whole system to be changed. However, all of this takes time and money to produce. As much as we wish it wasn't, Smash isn't created to be a fun game worldwide. It is being made as a product to be sold for profit. I see so many super cool concepts that I always say in my head that is really neat, but that will probably never happen though. There are diminishing returns to recreating everything because the number one thing that makes Smash sell like gangbusters is not how complex the systems are, or how they represent gaming, or even the content in the game. It has always been about the characters on the roster, and not even how they play. Way more people cared about Lil Mac being in Smash, rather than how he played. When Street Fighter III cut every character except Ryu and Ken, many people were disappointed that the game was barely played until it came to PS2 7 years later. Now imagine a cut of just half the roster. People will be so disappointed seeing so many iconic characters cut for the sake of newness and for video game history, which many Smash fans aren't bothered to learn about anyway. As time goes on, this problem will only get worse. New IPs from Nintendo and other series, new characters in existing series and existing characters gaining more and more abilities, they have to add more without feeling outdated or too distant from their previous versions. The next Smash game will likely take a different direction from Ultimate, but it will not change as much as others think and hope for. This is because if the next Smash is different in a way people dislike, then Smash as a brand could drop dramatically and lose Nintendo a lot of money. Smash is so burdened with expectations from Nintendo, the fans, the developers, and what the series creator wants it to be. Any change will have to please everyone involved or face certain risks. Making a game with a massive reduction in characters could have a ruinous impact on one of Nintendo's most profitable series. The roster is both the thing that makes Smash sell and the thing that burdens Smash with the expectation of being one of the defining games of its generation, both with fans and with sales. With these desires mixed with what they wish Smash to be, I propose this compromise to keep things the same and want change. Let's make new crossover games that aren't Smash. Interesting, okay. Very different direction. People love crossovers and the characters so much, so why should Smash be the only Nintendo-focused series focused on crossovers? With Smash being this giant brand focused so much on hype, creating a smaller game of spin-offs could devalue the brand and make each big release feel less special. This is where this proposed compromise comes in. Let's make smaller series focused on Nintendo crossovers or other video game crossovers. A series that could take inspiration from Smash but doesn't have to be Smash, meaning it doesn't have that expectation to follow the rules or principles of Smash. It doesn't have to fit in with the characters people expect in Smash, like Puff or Ness. It doesn't even have to be run by Masahiro Sakurai. You could put in so many more wacky characters as the pressure of putting that in a game that will sell millions and have them be viewed as critically. I think at this point I have to outright disagree with some of the logic here. Because this is presenting that Smash Bros. Changing as an impossibility because it will tank sales and disappoint fans. But I'm going to do the same thing I did before with the Breath of the Wild thing. Because that doesn't... No. I think you're heavily underestimating how much brand recognition just carries sales on its own. Like, the next Smash Brothers is going to sell regardless of what it does. It just is. Smash Brothers is one of those series that the simple fact that you can watch Mario punch Link in the face, that's the premise. That's why people enjoy it. Like, you're right that what people appreciate about the series is quite shallow, but it also means it's a very low bar to meet. Like, it might not be the best-selling fighting game of all time like Ultimate was, but it's going to be successful. Also, the MCU DC, yeah, that's also very fair. If you have a good brand attached to what you're making, that's all you really need. It's very unfortunate because we get a lot of terrible products that just get thrown out and slapped a brand on them, like Rings of Power or the Halo TV show, that still do decently well just because brand. That said, I do like the idea you're presenting here. Like, why not just do a couple of different crossover stuff? I do love the idea of Smash Cards. Like, differentiate it enough from Mario Kart that it doesn't just kill that brand altogether, because that is a risky run. If you try to make something that's kind of like another Nintendo series, but a crossover, it dips into the Smash appeal while also keeping the appeal of what it once was, which kind of just leaves what it the brand it used to be, just kind of dead. So you gotta be careful with that, but I do love the idea of just like racing through various Nintendo areas. That's just a fun concept. People want a story crossover game. It's much easier when it isn't already shackled to another giant game. A real crossover platforming game that is way more robust than any Smash single player could work if it was a standalone rather than attached to Smash. This new crossover could be the crossover event Subspace promised. With characters being true to form, locations, and enemies being from the actual series, even dialogue could exist in this game. The characters and movesets could be much more expressive since they don't have to be balanced around a multiplayer mode or do what they did in the last game. Think about how much cooler and more accurate characters can be without being restricted to being balanced around a competitive scene. It would also make Smash not have to have the burden of creating a giant story mode when one already exists as its own game. And it could create different single-player modes like Smash Run, my beloved. I do appreciate this logic here. Smash Brothers... Sorry. I read that, and I'm just picturing the sheer vitriol that would be, okay, the future of Smash Brothers is Smash Brothers nuts and bolts, and I kind of want to live in that timeline. That could be very funny. So Mark can come up with. Removing Smash from the title opens up so much more freedom that it doesn't have to carry the burden of expectations Smash as a brand has. It doesn't have to live up to these behemoths of a series. It could just release a tennis game and everyone would love it, because Samus could shine a spark to hit the ball. Imagine a Nintendo baseball game where Mario's baseball affinity mechanics. Wouldn't that be so fun? That mechanic would never get into a Smash game, but smaller crossover games could capitalize on many ideas. If those ideas work, Smash could take inspiration from them and implement them in different ways. Smash should stay consistent with its own series and expectations, but Nintendo should make a or multiple smaller crossover games that could fill in the gaps it lacks. These series could do more specific versions of characters and be more experimental with mechanics, and Smash could be more focused on tried and true stuff that works best for everyone. This would help Smash innovate without as many risks, allowing us to enjoy excellent crossovers in different ways, and help Nintendo make even more money. At the end of the day, this is what I specifically want, and it seems like a non-answer. Your idea of rebooting the roster is just to let someone else do it. That's no fun at all. Over time, I learned to curb my creative thinking and trying to ground it in reality, which is why I haven't participating in Peasant's perspective. When I look at them, I see a lot of super fun creativity. I hope this type of thinking will drive the Super Smash Bros. Series in the future. If I could change something, just give the characters super moves via a bar. It's always an easy way to make the game much cooler and give the characters more personality. Have character intros like in JoJo All-Star Battle and unique ones depending on the character. Oh, and bring back Smash Run. This is true. This is true. Yeah, I was going to say, I love the idea of trying out different kinds of crossovers. Although, again, like, doing Mario Baseball but Smash Brothers is a very easy way of just killing Mario Baseball in general. But I do disagree with the overall, conclusion that Smash Brothers can't change, because I argue that Smash Brothers is one of the few franchises out there that can kind of just change whatever it wants to, and it will still be successful. Like, it's up there with the Pokemons, the Call of Duties. It's already made it, so it can just do whatever it wants. I have the link for this in the previous concept. It's fine. I have the covered submissions linked elsewhere. Not much use when it's at the end of covering. So I guess to overall respond to this is I love the ideas presented, but I just disagree with the conclusion. Because, like, bigger brands have done worse things and still been successful. Like, how successful was, like, the Transformer movie series, despite how awful those movies were? Got most of this mentality from Sakurai talking about how he wants to make sure Smash still stays the same series, and kind of thinking about that. Yeah, I can see that. I think that very heavily relies on, one, if Sakurai comes back to make the series. Like, he might, but there will inevitably become a point where he just can't do that anymore, and the game will change once that happens. Like, that's just unavoidable. And I think Sakurai has also said in the past that, granted, he said this for every single Smash game, and he keeps one-upping himself, but I think with Ultimate in particular, the game has to change. Like, it's gotta do something different, because you can't... Without doing an Ultimate Deluxe, you just can't follow up Ultimate. Because it's going to feel like a disappointment if it's not heavily different while characters are missing. You can't have both ways. Still, though, I appreciate the mental experiment of trying to just kind of picture what other crossovers could be out there. Because there is, like, an infinite amount of things that you could do by just dipping your toes into other genres. Like, I know I kind of jokingly said the Smash Brothers nuts and bolts, but, like, that kind of vehicular combat, if it was done well, that could be, like, legitimately very fun. It'll be interesting to see. Like, definitely Nintendo should poke around with crossovers a little bit more. It doesn't even have to be, like, massive. Just do something simple like, okay, take two franchises and put them together. That's much more manageable. You can actually do a lot more with that. Just, okay, Star Fox and Samus. Star Fox and Metroid, rather. Actually, F-Zero and Metroid I think I'd like a bit more. But just things like that. There's room to do stuff. Thank you, Magic Ice, for your submission. Move this over. Alright. Next on my list was... oh gosh. I can't read my handwriting. I think it was Dragon something. DragonSaver. Okay. Thank goodness. Let's grab music. This is a bop. For my idea on how to reboot Smash Brothers, I think it'd be interesting to put an emphasis on the brothers part of the title. What do I mean by this? Simple. Each character in this version of Smash is based around the idea of teamwork, being part of a duo, or other such concepts. This may sound similar to multiverses, but my idea is more in the camp of each individual fighter being a singular team itself rather than focused on team-based gameplay. Interesting. Tells me finding it's about the homage to the original 12. Oh! Okay. So we're going like, okay, what if everybody was a duo? Yeah, Gabe puts it perfectly. Smash Brothers Double Dash. Okay, I'm down for that. This amount of Mario does being a simple pick-up-and-play character that anyone can start out with. Can do special moves similar to Mario and Luigi RPG games. Getting more damage by tossing them in a rhythm. Got Donkey and Diddy. This duo plays a lot more like traditional Donkey Kong Country, with Diddy riding on DK's back and providing support. Oh, so, okay. It's not a pure, like, two characters in one kind of deal, like a Pyra Mithra or an Ice Climbers kind of deal. It's just that both characters, like every character, is a duo in some way. Like, Diddy's kind of more of a power-up that's helping out his big buddy around. Okay. Link has the Sages. So, again, like, it's a character playing with other characters, but Link just kind of calls in Sages as he goes in. Okay, interesting. Just kind of tripling down on, okay, let's make characters interact with other characters to showcase more of their personality. Ancient 8. Simple Inkling. I think I'm missing... Oh! Side is the Pearl Drone. This is just something I don't understand because I never played these Splatoon games. Oh, okay. It's a little, just specialist drone that helps him around. Okay. Pokemon Trainer's self-explanatory. How do you do Pokemon Trainer with teamwork? I just don't know. Pikmin and Ochi. Solid. Again, I like how several people have come up with mechanics that they want to build their reboots around and then picked characters that would best fit those mechanics. I think that always results in the strongest character, like the strongest presentations of, okay, this is how this Smash Brothers game is going to obtain its new identity. Got Noah and Mio, obvious choice based off what this is. Got the WarioWare crew. But since Wario isn't much of a team player, his friends can hurt him as much as they do the opponents if you time it wrong. Yo, that actually sounds really fun, though. It reminds me of, like, years and years ago, when Pierre and I still made, like, edited design dorks, when I brought Leroy Jenkins as a wacky character they could add. I love the idea of Wario Leroy Jenkins. Isabelle uses the villagers. Alir summons... Like, again, this picking the character that makes the most sense for what we're doing here. Of course it would be Alir, because it's got the emblem stuff. Kirby Model D. Like, he's kind of become the oh, I was about to say the Tails to Kirby Sonic, but they're also here too. feeling this. And I've said it time and time again. I think I just said it like 5 minutes ago. But one of the best ways to show off more character interaction is to give the character somebody to bounce off of. It lets characters have conversations with each other. It allows to show how they interact with characters that aren't their enemies. It just opens up so much more design space for how you can portray a character in a fighting game. And I really like how this is doing this. And these are just a few ideas. I had this team-based version of Smash Bros. You could have other pairs like Yoshi with Baby Mario, Team Star Fox as interchangeable characters, Midna and Wolf Link. Oh, this is fun. Like, this kind of gets more into the Smash Brothers fusion by... Oh gosh, I don't want to say the wrong name. I think it was BC. But being able to tie two characters together and just see how they would interact with each other. I think that's the strongest design space that Smash Brothers could be utilizing that it isn't currently. We've seen a lot of that in various concepts, and I think there's a good reason for that, because it's one of the most appealing aspects of what Smash could be. Just being able to see how these characters would interact with each other in more deeper contexts. That said, I also love the idea, maybe, of just having like a Ganondorf Girahim thing going. You can also do Link and Vi in various ways. Just using the weapons, but also making the weapons coming alive for various attacks to kind of follow up the attacks. That could be really cool. An idea like this would not only lead to an interesting interpretations of how we think of Smash characters, but also add in more representation of other characters from franchises that would otherwise not be playable. No, yeah, I think you're just right when you say that. I think this is the first case where I actually feel like the roster's a bit too small. I didn't expect to have that issue, but I kind of just want to see a little bit more from this, because I think this is an approach that could absolutely work. But I think you just kind of need to... For this mode specifically, I'd love to see how this would tackle a story mode, because this would be an adventure mode specifically centered around duos. So no matter what you do, you have to have a story mode centered around having two characters kind of interacting with each other as they go through their adventure. And that would be a really fun way of doing this. Like, you could kind of just have... like, just mini side stories of, okay, what are the Pikmin Captain and Ochi doing as they venture through some Nintendo area? What kind of modes do you have that better suit, like, a kind of tag team format? What I'm saying, not necessarily because the roster is too small, I'm saying that I just kind of want to see how else this kind of duo tag team formats could be explored in different ways. But I still think it's a very solid idea. Leaves a lot open to the imagination, and it makes the imagination like what's the PlayStation version? All-Stars, PlayStation All-Stars kind of version of the stages, where it's two stages colliding together. Or maybe like items that have fused together in various ways to create various wacky effects. Like, you could have a Bob-omb walking around with a Franklin badge on it. God, I actually love that idea, though. Just imagine a Franklin badge Bob-omb. That you can hold it as, like, a projectile reflector, but if any physical hit hits you while you're holding it, you still blow up. That'd be so funny. But yeah, short, simple, easy to remember. I love concepts like this. I think it's absolutely a valid approach to what a future Smash game could be, and I think it would be effective. Alright, moving this over. Alright. Yes, we'll grab the Darian. This is not a reboot, although it may feel like one. Many of these characters have gotten drastic updates, one of them even getting 9 special moves. I guess. Okay. These are just my personal ideas for what a new... Oh, hold on. Was there music? There's not. Okay, in that case, I'm going to swap back to the other Smash Brothers playlist. There we go. Alright. I like Duke's idea of a game that is constantly updated. Oh, I'm going to remember to share the link this time as well. Would you look at that? So there's a Mario Wonder-like visuals mixed with the Return to Dreamland Deluxe cell shading. Base roster is 42 characters, smaller than Smash 4's base roster. Base roster: Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Yoshi, Bowser, Wario, Waluigi, Donkey Kong, K. Rool, Link, Zelda, Ganondorf, Impa, Samus Ridley, Kirby. It's not special. Oh, that's fun. DDD, Meta Knight, McCloud, Pikachu, Charizard. Just Charizard alone again. Oh, I appreciate the Sceptile. Very much appreciate the Sceptile. Ninja, Ness, Captain Falcon, Marth, Robin, Byleth, Mr. Game & Watch. Sceptile was always a great showcase of, okay, when did this person get into Smash speculation? This is a huge push Sceptile got right around when Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came around. But, like, it would be a very fun character. I really like Sceptile. Pit, Captain Olimar, Villager, Little Mac, Shulk, Noah, Inkling, Min Min, Isaac, Rhythm Girl. Love the Rhythm having representation. When you fit Trainee, Chibi Robo. And after the game is out, Daisy, Bowser Jr., Rosalie and Luma, King Boo, Paper Mario, Geno, Ashley, Diddy, Dixie, Toon Link, Skull Kid, Midna, Girahim, Champion Zelda. Interesting. Okay. Samus, Raven Beak, Bandana D, Dark Matter, Magolor, Mewtwo, Lucario, Zoroark. It's a huge list of characters. Love the Helix choice. Still wish he was the one that was chosen for Smash. I get why he wasn't, but like he would have been so fun though. Andy, Ramkay, Dylan, Takamaru, Saki, Starfy, Fossil Fire, Jibanyan, Wonder Red, Yuden, and Midgard. Who? 1 second. What is a Midgard Somar? I'm only getting something from Final Fantasy. Shot in the dark. Is this Dragalia Lost? Yep, it's a dragon from Dragalia Lost. So not just one character from a dead game, but 2. Alright, so just a roster. How many was that again? 42 characters. I'm sure there's not my opinion on it, but I don't want Zelda to be Tears of the Kingdom. I prefer Ultimate Design. I like that the Zelda series is more diverse. I do agree with not wanting her to be Tears of the Kingdom, but I also just don't really want her to be the same Zelda she's been in the past. I don't know, I just feel like you could do more with Zelda. And she's kind of just been stuck with Melee Incarnation plus one thing from Spirit Tracks. Spirit Tracks, right? Yeah, Spirit Tracks. Which is like, do more with her. Have a bit of fun. She's a light sage. Do stuff. I do say yes. Yeah, it's hard to say much with just a roster. I think it's a perfectly fine roster, but I do think... I can't remember whose idea it was, but I really liked... I think it was Akonu's, actually. The logic of, okay, if you're going to do post-launch DLC, you probably shouldn't do veterans at all, because once you open those floodgates, you can't close them again, and it just kind of opens up the disappointment of, well, okay, but what about my favorite veteran, though? You gotta put my favorite veteran back in. But so, I think it's solid. Well, it's a bit too big for a Smash sequel roster. Just because you can't really do anything crazy with the gameplay with that many characters. But I like some of the choices. Like, any Smash roster with a Rhythm Heaven character, I think is a solid Smash roster. Like, that's just... How is that not a thing, guys? Come on. Come on. Bam. Just a short little roster submission. I like it. Thank you, Darian, for your time. Alright, moving this over to the covered submissions. Hyrule Warriors did a full-on spiritual... Yeah, exactly! Like, you can do so much stuff! Again, I'm gonna skip over that because I know you've already submitted. I want to get everybody's stuff out of the way first. Alawiko... Is it under the same name? Oh, Ducko. Ducko. I can read, I promise. Alright. Let's get the music going. Okay, starting with DuckTales music. I appreciate it. Alright, Super Smash Bros. Variable. Hello, I'm Ducko. I'm a duck. Sure. Thinking of what to do thematically and gameplay-wise for Smash Bros., or at least something similarly themed. I had the thought of going towards the celebration of gaming history phrase that always gets brought up, but one, this leans heavily on the roster aspect, and two, it potentially takes away from being a Smash Bros. Game and quickly becomes its own thing, as Nintendo, big as it is not the sole factor of gaming history. Even under a somewhat limited capacity, previous iterations of this go a bit out there, and focus too much on just, hey, Fortnite and Pong and GTA and FNAF are all smacking each other around. This approach is born from that. For better or worse, having big third-party series show up has become a big part of Smash's identity and marketing, and part of me feels that if you take that away completely, it could hinder the next game's chances. The roster is not the most important aspect, but it is a big one. See also with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, which has other problems, granted. Gameplay can be fine, solid even, but if so much is cut out, if aesthetically it's unappealing, and there's not much else interesting to make up for it, you should have gone back and figured out how to build up something more instead. That's a good comparison! Then again, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is a whole other can of worms behind the scenes, but I digress. Regardless, again, I have to start back again from square one. And if I do craft a roster for this, it'll be after the actual groundwork is laid out. The version of this game that it exists would, at the very least, 1. Have a lot of features and things to do in the game, 2. Try to load the roster with a lot of big, prominent characters, the whole gaming history thing, and still be monumental in several ways to avoid the previously mentioned problems of MVCI. So my goal here is to really have a square together in multiple aspects, which is a bit daunting. The whole... COG. Oh, celebration of gaming history. I understand. Is actually being an iteration of Smash and having gameplay and features that actually reflect these themes, rather than just taking Smash Ultimate, stuffing it even more full, and calling it a day. And tinkering around, I feel like I figured out what could square all these aspects together. Hopefully. Also, I've asked some feedback on certain things from users in the server. Hi, folks! Oh yeah, a name. Historia is taken, along with a couple of others. So let's go with Super Smash Bros. Variable. Themes of this are customization and gaming history, and they can tie together into the card system. Okay. Customization and content are the two big methodologies people propose in trying to add more to Smash. Thematically and mechanically, I feel like I have found something that could do potentially both. Okay, Smash has had the profiles and collectibles in every game so far. Yeah, trophies, stickers, spirits, etc. So the main collectible of this game would be cards, sort of trading cards with art and profiles on them, perhaps with digital aesthetics like SD cards or the Mega Man Battle Network and Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories. The aesthetic of them is loose in what it could be. Mainly it is methodology towards customization and can be used for a lot of aspects of the game. It can also relate a bit to Nintendo's history, like Hanafuda and Pokemon cards. But what do they do? Besides substituting for trophies, they'll be able to be used for this game's iteration of items. Assist trophies, status effects, custom moves, and even final smashes. The core Smash experience could still be here, but there could be massive amounts of iteration within the carts. Is this turning Smash into a deck builder? High before the match starts, but certain ones can be summoned mid-game, those being assists, which might work okay as an assist. It's not good, or the fan-made card Saga's Wars. I'll say that a lot of the card types will work in a similar way to mid-fights to card Saga Wars, with meters for certain types that eventually allow you to activate said items. Items in particular could either work in a randomization and activation, similar to Mario Kart, or be pre-selected as a part of your deck. This is... Wait a minute. And yeah, this is trading card GB music. Gotta love it. In gameplay, you do have the option for item cards to spawn in the middle of the stage, acting like how they used to before. The like before this could also be turned off entirely. As well, the final smash or even leveled supers could be activated via the meter and be represented by their own set of cards, and even further iterated upon or tied to the move customization cards. Much like a trading card game itself, certain cards could be chosen before matches from the in-game collection, and be agreed upon whether to use or not. I'm sure people could eventually figure out what does and doesn't need to be banned, certainly. Moreover, I do think this allows for a lot of different aspects of series included to be represented, as well as being able to play into a competitive game aspect with its own potential sub-game within the game, but also allow people to go off the rails party game with it, not playing by those rules and just stacking whatever onto them. Perhaps in a new iteration of Special Smash especially. Now for the card types themselves, you have status cards, which are things like Metal Box, Franklin Badge, so you can actually summon mid-battle via a meter or buff a teammate in a team battle. You have healing cards, Maxi Tomatoes, food, heart containers, etc. You have like 1-up mushrooms, E-tanks, Phoenix Downs. You have weapon cards, baseball bat, ray guns, smart bombs, etc. Choose to have them at the beginning of the match. Okay. Transport cards. If they're mounted vehicles or characters you can ride and attack with, like say the Pipe Frame, the Excite Bike, Impona, Rambi, the Vic Viper, Warp Star, Okay. You have move cards. Here you have playable mix and match elements for the core fighting style. So, and I'm unlocking specific abilities tied to whatever this card is suggesting. There could be a Tanuki Suit card, which could make it to where Mario has a different property known as Mario Tornado or Cape. Has even better jumps, Kirby-esque flight, etc. Okay, so just kind of custom cards that change various aspects of your characters. I do like this. It doesn't change the character into an entirely separate one, but just kind of unlocks various aspects of what they could be. You have assist cards for things like assist trophies and Pokeballs. Makes a lot of sense. Spirit cards. Similar function to what spirits already do. It's just kind of like various stat buffs. Okay. And then super cards, which are, super moves. And aside as the characters also have default decks, you can pick that are tuned specifically to them and their series. Let's not use Mario again. Let's say Kirby would come with, say, a super spicy curry, Maximum Tomato, Star Rod, Weapon Orb Star, Sword Kirby, Beam Kirby, Kracko, Lolo, Hypernova, Ultra Sword, and Cook Kirby. Another aside, there are toggleable options for how the cards are used, even down to an individual level, with items all being able to work as they did in previous games, and much like items, Final Smash's spirits and custom moves in previous games being optional in general. Hardcore fighting out of Smash is mainly iterative. A lot of the same. All this crazy card stuff can be turned off if you want more of a traditional experience. Still adjust buttons. Shields and parries included. Dash and perfect pivot. Glitch canceling, hit canceling, etc. Buffer slightly reduced. Get Roman cancels from the Guilty Gear series. Dash attacks can be cancelled. Yeah, kind of the same stuff that Gabe went over. And just adjust the game flow to be what people always change it into regardless. Also making wall jumping and wall clinging universal. Interesting. Everyone gets shield specials. There's a proper counter system. Yeah, definitely heavily inspired by Gabe's. Presentation-wise, overall presentation and theme could be akin to a gaming museum. Menus look as if video game items are being displayed, have artwork, sprites, 3D models, promotional materials around, or even some video game screen aesthetics. It could tie well into the section where you can look at the cards you have, listen to the music in-game, as well as the store in-game where you can buy the cards. A bonus could also be special cards in our cartridges, discs, arcade cabinets you can collect in-game that show games with the series in-game characters, stages, items, etc. It's a very small thing, but I've always loved this about Melee specifically. Like how you could look at your trophy kind of collection and it was actually somebody's room. You can just pan over and see all the consoles in the backgrounds. It's such a small dynamic, but it lets the game have a really special, like, identity to it. Going for cell shading, because it looks amazing in these sorts of fighting games. I would love to see a Nintendo game that tried to tackle this. More alternate costumes, because of course. Put some proper dialogue into the single-player stuff. 100% agreed. I think some effects should be integrated into the characters themselves. Stuff like the Mario's coins and flame effects, Mega Man blowing up, or new ones like Sonic's rings exploding off screen if Sonic dies. I've never really thought much about this, but yeah. It would be neat to just kind of explore this a little deeper. Like maybe make it so that Link starts flashing red when he reaches really high percentage. Or try to implement a little bit more of like the classic Pokemon sprite effects into the Pokemon movesets. There's things you can do. Announcer packs. Oh gosh. Oh, those are great. Hey, you said announcer packs, and I just looked down and read Cranky Kong, and I'm just immediately sold. But yeah, just again, it's not something Smash has explored before, so it's an easy way of making a new game feel a little bit more distinct. I like that. We got the gameplay modes. Classic is back. We got the adventure modes. An actual power struggle between Master and Crazy Hand. Take inspiration from Mushroom Kingdom Fusion in particular, mashing gaming worlds together for platforming levels. I like that. That's fun. That's fantastic. Oh, the Stanley Parable narrator in Smash Brothers. God, that'd be amazing. Starting off the crossover between Mario and Sonic, moving on to a kind of science fantasy explosion with like maybe Final Fantasy and Xenoblade. Got Battle Street to get more into the comparably grounded characters like Little Mac and Ryu and Terry. Got a Raceway for various racing characters. Asteroid Caverns for the super sci-fis. Got a more haunted area for Castlevanias and Luigi. Resort Town to kind of relax and chill with Animal Crossing characters and some Miis. Got a Retro Village for all the retro characters. Proper casino area. Half Smash has never had that. I don't understand. Digital storefront. Mount Olympus. Road to Final Destination. Honestly, super solid. I'd love an adventure mode like this. It's crazy how you just don't have to do much to make people happy with this, and yet Smash Brothers just continues not to. Which I understand it's not where the priorities are at, but like, it would make so many people so happy. Got versus mode because, of course, Special Smash is back, tournament, team battle, etc., etc. Event matches return, proper ones. The card game within the game is done with a lot of cards in the game, and played similarly to a competitive card game. There's also just an actual card mini game within this Super Smash Bros. Idea. I kind of love that. It's so unnecessary, but it perfectly fits the theme of what this is going for. Online stuff just exists, because of course it does. We got a training mode. Customized characters with the card system, of course. Miis are more flexible, be able to take moves from various characters. I like that. Also adds the mage. Another thing that just kind of should be... Oh yeah, what if Smash Brothers had a deck builder customization thing to it? Because why not? Which honestly, I kind of dig the idea. Music options, we got race to the finish, break the targets, break the car, just take it straight from Street Fighter, why not? Board the platforms, home run contest, an actual proper Smash Get Ball, just should be a thing. Multi-man, Smash Run, Boss Rush. Capture the flag. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody suggest capture the flag, but that also works really well for like a platform fighter. Why isn't this a thing? Smash Puzzle League. Just for fun, since it was an adventure mode, you can select a character and play Panel to Pawn, Tetris Attack / Pokemon Puzzle League against any other opponents. You also see the characters fighting against each other in the top middle of the screen, reflecting how well you're doing. This is just peer coded. As well as a Smash shoot 'em up. Get on top of or inside a ship and shoot a bunch of spacefaring enemies for as long as you can last. So kind of just taking the, oh gosh, I think it's Smash 4's, like, shoot the credits kind of deal. But yeah, sounds fun. I like the idea of Smash Brothers kind of branching out into more, like, Pokemon Stadium-esque mini-games, but just with Smash Brothers on top of it. Kind of fits what Magic Ice was talking about earlier, that Smash Brothers should cross over in different ways. That doesn't necessarily have to be separated from Smash itself. That honestly would be a very fun thing to add in a Smash Ultimate Deluxe to make the game still feel fresh without making it too complicated to add more stuff to it. Because you could just say, okay, here's Smash Brothers again, but now we added a lot of these kind of really fun experimental bullshit on top of it too. I kind of love this, actually. This sounds great. Skin this in stage. Okay, what characters are we starting with? Love the choice of artwork. That's fantastic. I'm gonna skip this because I don't know if this is copyright. Apologies if the VOD has to get muted. Oh, there's a couple of these actually. Let me skip further ahead into something that's a little safer. Definitely glamour safe. Seems to ship somewhere. Okay, don't worry, Al. No problem. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. Back to the roster. Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Bowser, Link, Zelda, Ganondorf, Donkey Kong, Wario, Samus, Kirby, Captain Falcon, Fox, Ness, Pikachu, Pokemon Trainer. I think that's Robin. Villager. That's Villager. Inkling. I think that's the Hanafuda card. Maybe. Mr. Game & Watch, Ram K, Isaac, Rhythm Heaven Girl, Sonic, Pac-Man, Mega Man, Cloud. I don't know who either of these two characters are. Master Chief, Kratos. Is this E.T.? Is that the E.T. sprite? Hold on a second. No, it's not. Damn it! That would unironically, maybe not as a character, but as an assist trophy. Oh, I can't. Maybe if I just could read, I'd notice that I could just look down. But okay, sure. Thematically speaking, I wanted to tie into the card things, which makes Hanafuda fit perfectly. Character genres and aspects of the roster. Not very little, with some digging into Nintendo series and history to keep some of Smash's original focus. So I'm going to focus on highlighting a few new characters I'd like to include. Okay, I am curious, like, how does the actual card stuff... Yes, we're on neutral, I'll stay... Cape is now a shield special. Further enhanced with the Mario Tornado for some more neutral aerial. Looking projectiles. Oof. That's some Atari sound font. I'm gonna skip this. Let's go to this one. There we go. Keep now a shield special, which for the same just a dish. I will say I'm a bit disappointed not to see how the cards affect the moveset here. Unless I'm missing something here. I mean, I should just keep reading a little bit. Like I like a lot of what I'm seeing. Oh, here we go, here we go. Dr. Mario is attached to an Echo subset of Spirit cards. Flood is under the move cards. I have a Hammer Mario thing. Tanuki Mario, we've already covered. Cappy Cat Mario. Okay, here we go, here we go. And he's just tappier because he should be. I like this. Also, give him an alternate costume for the Bob Hoskins movie. Yes, please. What are Ganondorf's cards? Just give him various moves, allow him to just pick different weapons. I like that. I like that. Captain Falcon. Give him another Echo in the form of Blood Falcon. Samus. Customization options, many beams, bombs, fusion suit stuff, PDs. Okay. Card system. Have cards in the themed around the fighters or Sonic Battle. I like that. That's fun. Just have Wisps, King Arthur, Werehog, Darkspine. Sure. I'm curious about how the heck this works. History, I mean, makes sense. The logic behind including it. Maybe can be an umbrella and glue with somewhat light and precise movements while also having a bit of a summoner aspect. Okay. Summons animals based on the Hanafuda cards, such as a crane hitting upward with its beak, a boar headbutting forward. Ooh! I actually like that. kind of turning the Hanafuda man into like a Dissidia Yuna kind of character. It sounds really cool. Special is a frog, hops forward, tackling enemies. Special has a swallow carrying him upwards. Forward special is a stream, a flood of water approaching, carrying him forward. Down special is lightning, and shield special is the red ribbon. I like this. I like this a lot. Have a Chinese Phoenix super, a barrage of wind and leaves, and a full moon and sun, which one-ups the Majora's Mask assist trophy by having a sun hit the stage at the same time. That's amazing. Some sort of ink-like style similar to Okami. Oh, that's good. Oh, can we just get this character into Smash, like, regardless of where the game goes? Because this sounds so sick. We got Ray, because of course, heavily customizable character, fits perfectly. Same with Master Chief, a lot of different weapons he can use. Who the hell are... Oh, okay. No, I know who you are. So I'm just kind of skipping over how the actual characters work, because that's not really what we're looking for here. I'm just kind of curious about customization. And honestly, all these customizable things, it's clicking. It's making sense. We're taking highly customizable characters and just assigning them various cards that change up their attributes in various ways. Which is neat. I like that. Yorgol stages, Bowser's Castle is here because of course. Battle against variable foes. That's fun! Just the actual battle screen from Earthbound. I like it. Is this Bo Burnham music? This is the character select from WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game. So no. Wait. It's a... I read that, then I looked down, and I realized it's Silva Gunner. It is Bo Burnham music. Oh god, I hope that doesn't get copyright struck. I'm going back up to the top with regular video game music. That was hilarious, though. The VMA Wrestling Ring for pro wrestling. Got the virtual arcade from Earthbound. Like it. Studiopolis Zone, because why isn't this a thing already? One of the coolest Sonic stages you could do, and we just pick boring green zone again? Ugh. Guitar. Ooh! That's fun. I would really love this, but instead of, like, actual Guitar Hero, it's, like, actual video game characters. Like, if anybody saw the Banjo and Kazooie trailer for Super Smash Bros. 64 Remix, like, the mod, just, like, something like that going on in the background while you're going through, like, a Guitar Hero-esque stage minigame in the background. That'd be so cool. Alright, going for a service model to make sure that the game can be supported. Add more characters, more stages, etc., etc. Love seeing full-themed seasons. I think that's one of the coolest things you can do with that kind of live service model. Just create various chapters of the game. Challenge of fads, spitballing. But all the cool stuff online, because, of course, why wouldn't you? Happy birthday to the people that were made on the day that this was. That's a new one. Haven't seen that before. That's hilarious. But okay, okay. The main concept at play here is absolutely fascinating. Like, I don't think I would have thought of Smash Brothers deck builder in a million years. But that does create a very intriguing kind of almost like I'm picturing this combined with the we've actually had cards suggested a couple of times throughout this stream. I'm just kind of picturing that, okay, like, take this card aspect and fuse it with making the cards like the actual, like, trophy-esque collectibles. Almost a hybridization of what Smash Brothers customization has been throughout the series, and then brought to life throughout this specific thematic format. And I kind of love this. Like, this, in a weird way, feels like a really nice sequel to so many elements of what Smash Brothers has been in the past, and capitalizing on that by doubling down on this being like a proper celebration of what all these things have been across gaming, and making them all usable and feasible to be, like, show up in some way throughout gameplay. It's cool. I really like it. Pot Plant feels the themes for DLC season need to be kind of vague. I think that depends on how you choose to approach them. And how you're including content alongside them. Like, it's very hard to get, like, a full Fighter's Pass in a theme, but if you extend the theme to, like, anything, for, like, costumes, items, stages, etc., you can get a little more specific. You can have a bit more fun with it. But yeah, this was fun. There were a lot of great ideas in here. Honestly, my only disappointment is I just kind of want to see the card thing double down on. Like, I'd love to see, like, individual... just spitballing for a bit, like, a card that makes it so that if you can chain 4 hits together, the 4th hit does significantly more damage. Or, say, I don't know. Kind of play into how competitive players want to play and just make short hops more powerful or something like that. I don't know. There's a lot of different things you could do with that, and I'm kind of like stalling mentally because of just decision paralysis. But that's besides the point. What I really want to say is just that I love the idea presented here, and I'd love to see something like this explored in some manner with Nintendo. They've already done some pretty nice card games. Like, explore that a little bit more. Could be neat. Right. Thank you very much, Ducko. That was a great time. Move that over. Okay, I think we have time for one more before I'll swap over to XCOM. Okay, I've also hit the end of my list. So is there anybody else that wants me to dive into theirs that's here? Otherwise, just pick one at random. Gosh, there's still so many. I don't really want to cover second submissions yet. If nobody else submits anything, I'd be down, but I want to give people the chance to do their first thing. EC, I see you in chat. You want to go for yours? Like, no pressure if you don't want to. But I'm trying to Prioritize people that can actually respond to things. Sure? Okay. We'll end off with ECs. Which is called Super Smash Bros. Foiled. With the King Bowser theme. That's a good theme. Alright. So wrap this up. Super Smash Bros. Foiled. Greetings, fellow Roundtablers. It's EC here. So a reboot roster is an interesting topic to tackle. Once additional content for the incredibly ambitious Smash Ultimate came to an end back in 2021, left a lot of fans wondering what the series would go from here. Given there's no clear answer, the sky's practically the limit on possibilities for where to take this franchise next. With that in mind, my own concept for a sort of reboot roster follows up a very simple thought process. I like Smash Brothers, and I especially like playing as villains in Smash Brothers, so let's do that. Villains are certainly an integral presence in any form of media they appear in, as they're responsible for directing the main conflict. Their presence can either raise the quality of a story higher or tank it. Video games are no exception to having a repertoire of iconic and beloved malevolent forces. In terms of Smash Bros. Rosters, there's always so little to choose from. So why not make the roster all... Yo! Oh, that is such a simple thing to focus on, but that's so good at the same time. Oh, I can't wait to read this. Looking over the modes here, I at least wanted to touch base on how we would go about handling Classic Mode in terms of a story perspective. Essentially, the idea behind the Classic Mode is that every villain in the roster is on a quest to conquer the various worlds their fellow fighters reside in. So it's just a quest of world domination for every single one of these villains. Functions like Ultimate's iteration of Classic Mode go up against a set row of fighters with a few minigames scattered around. Bring back all the cool minigames from the past, because why not? And there's a final match where you fight against a boss fight for a superpowered version of your character's arch nemesis. Eggman fighting Supersonic as an example. That's hilarious. I was kind of joking earlier about making themes for every single character, like, as if they were a final boss, but this game is actually just doing that. Still a traditional Smash game at its core. I have a proposition that can hopefully make an idea like this more enticing. After all, what's a video game villain without an awesome boss fight? It introduces a new mechanic called boss phases. This is so good, though. Like, think about it. If you're specifically building a game around, okay, only villains are playable, you can make the hits so much harder. You can make the sound design so much chunkier. Like, this is gonna be a satisfying game to play. Every character on the roster will have 3 forms. They always start out the stock in their base form. However, there's now a nifty little meter next to their UI. You can fill up this meter by inflicting or taking damage. Each meter has 2 segments, and a segment must be filled before your character changes to their second phase. Whenever a character hits a new phase, there's a wide variety of changes to their kits depending on the character, whether it be simple buffs or having new moves altogether. One commonality shared between all these fighters is that entering their final phase grants them access to their final smash. They can only use it once per final phase, though, so you need to be careful with how you go about using it. Now's the time you've been waiting for, the character selection. Smash doesn't have a large selection of villains, so the amount of veteran characters would naturally be quite short. And with the new boss phase mechanic, a lot of these fighters would have changes to their old movesets. So who we got? Of course, Bowser. God, just simply saying Bowser is the Mario of this game, that just sounds so much fun. I think how I'm going to read through these is I'm going to say the character and how they phase up. So Bowser becomes a heavily armored version of himself, kind of taking some light inspiration from Strikers, and then becomes Fury Bowser for his final phase. We got King... This is already so good. King Boo starts as kind of basic Boo, but becomes more akin to his Luigi's Mansion phase for his phase 2. Getting like the proper gemmed crown, becoming more evil looking. And then he possesses either Dry Bowser or a dinosaur skeleton from Luigi's Mansion 3. Interesting, okay, okay. Got K. Rool, because of course. Gets his boxing glove for his first phase, and for his third phase becomes Captain K. Rool. Alright. Ganondorf goes from himself, Demon King, and then just full Ganon. It's a fun way of doing it. Got much... Oh, this is so good, though! Because this is really the only way you'd be able to get away with something like this. But yeah, let me play as Majora. Phase 2 goes into the Incarnation, and of course, Majora's Wrath. We got Ridley, because of course, goes from Ridley to Meta Ridley to Omega Ridley. Dark Matter starts as Sword, goes into his proper true form. And then just goes full all out as an omnipresent void entity of evil. Got Andros, starts as Polygonal, goes to full skin, and then just Brain. Team Rocket. Oh, that's fun! Starts as Team Rocket, but then they get dismissed as Giovanni steps in, because this is serious time now. Then moves on to Rainbow Rocket, as he brings in the armored Mewtwo. Love it. We got Necrozma. Oh, that's fun! Oh, that's so good, though! Again, picking characters that make sense for the theme that you're doing. Necrozma fits perfectly, because you got the full perfect choice for the second phase, and then they fuse together to become Ultra Necrozma. I love this! Yeah, Borky starts in his Spider-Mech, takes on his elderly appearance from Mother 3 for his second phase, and then enters the whole capsule in the statue. Oh, Leon's a great choice as well. Starts as Leon, becomes possessed, and then just transforms into the Demon King. Oh, this is so good, though! This is so good! We got Edelgard. Starts with a base Black Eagle appearance. Upgrades into the Adrestian Emperor. And then becomes Hegemon Husk form. Hades, because of course. Dons his Devastation ensemble. And then becomes his final Blue Flame form. Sure. Sure. All these eldritch abominations, horrible people that have slaughtered millions. And at the forefront, capitalism. Okay, how does this work? Oh, he sets up shop. Oh, okay. So he doesn't really change himself, but just the building he's selling stuff out of becomes larger. Sure, sure, why not? Like DJ Octavio fits perfectly. Just levels up throughout his various appearances. Eggman, perfect fit. Starts with his orb, and then the orb just kind of gets added onto as he gets bigger and bigger next to use. We got the Ghost Gang. Cool. Leveling up in the weird ways they've leveled up throughout the Pac-Man games. Couldn't include every single video game villain on here. Honestly, for what you're describing, I think a smaller roster works here. Like, unironically, this would be a perfect, like, stepping stone Smash Brothers game. Like, it's so obviously its own thing, but commits so hard to such a fun power fantasy, using characters you'd never see in Smash Brothers otherwise. Like, it would kind of have to be a one-off, but this would be a perfect one-off to kind of just give Smash Brothers fans a breath of fresh air while still giving them the things that they like. I want to check out the cut characters. I'm just curious. How's Junior Piranha Plant? A grape? Sure. Wario, Dark Samus, Wolf, Mewtwo, Sephiroth, Kazuya, Kamek, Captain Syrup, Vadi, Mother Brain, Ravenbeak, Mars, Grima, Berkut. Oh, Berkut would be great! Medusa, Revolver, Ocelot, Plasma Wraith, Dr. Wily, Dark Lord, Mr. Sandman, Metal Face, Jin, and Bison, Akuma, Kefka, Baldur, Mr. Grizz, Shido, Cosmos, Gruntilda, Geese Howard, Dr. Coil, Wither, Xenomorph, Xehanort, Sturm, Dragos, I would love to be able to play as GLaDOS. This is like one of the few areas where this would actually make a little bit of sense. Oh, Grape is the Showtime? Oh, okay, okay. Boss, Afton. Okay, cool. I like it. Just like that, my plans for Smash Reboot Domination have been put into motion. Mwahaha! That aside, I would be lying if I said this wasn't a bumpy run, and I appreciate those who expressed their interest in the project as it motivated me to try and get as much done as I could before the deadline. I do hope you all enjoyed the little experiment of mine. With that said, time to make my next grand escape. Exit. Thank you very much for reading. This is EC, signing off. Just reference list of all the things this has been taken from. Cool! Like, it's very, 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 very simple. But my god, this sounds so much fun. Sounds like so much fun. Sorry. Words are getting lost from my brain on the journey to my mouth. Like, it's so simple, but it works so well. Just, okay, let's have a crossover fight of just boss battles duking it out. Honestly, there's a couple of things you could do like that. It's like, okay, what about a Smash Brothers where it's just, like, basic mobs, like Piranha Plants? Can you look at, like, pictures if you want? Link them to me, but I don't know if I'll read them right now. I need some water real quick. Okay, I'm curious. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't think it'll let you put links in the actual chat. Here, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to move this to the submission documents at the covered submissions. It's linked right... Where did I put this? Right here. If you could just put Lukacs submissions underneath yours, it's the last one on the list, so that people can still access them. I think that'd be the best way to do it. But yeah, that was a solid finish. From a purely conceptual standpoint, as someone who just loves playing as villains in any video game, God, I would love to get to play this game. And I think I am going to call it there. Skip to a different theme. Sure, that works. How many did we get through today? Let's see. Start with Akonu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. 9 ideas. Okay, okay. And I still have so much to get through. Oh boy. That's fine, though. This is so much fun. I love seeing everybody's different takes on how to handle this concept. Because they've been so different. We got everything from card games to duo fighters to what if everyone was a villain. That's awesome. Alright, that's gonna stop it for now. I'm gonna take about, let's say, a 15 to 30 minute break, and then I will be back because I want to play some more XCOM because I've been having a lot of fun with XCOM, and I want to keep playing. I want to keep playing. So I'll be back in a bit, but for now, if people just want to watch these streams, See you all at the next Roundtable Relay.